Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
god.
I think that was an answer to my question, actually. I said, are we ready? So,
And
Tavi
Tavi's
is so
ready.
ready.
He's so
He's like
fucking
looking out the
great.
ready.
window. He's eyeballing the neighbors right now.
Oh my god. Okay. When I'm nervous, my voice does this fun thing where it sounds like I'm about to cry, and I promise I'm not. So if you're like, holy shit, what's going on? Don't worry about it.
It's okay.
Okay.
I sound like a pussy every day of my life. I have no room to judge.
All right. Okay. All right. I am going to start. All right. Glanchester is the capital of the country of Ophrenia on the continent known as the Seven Kingdoms of Opedia. This sprawling metropolis functions as the main hub of trade to and from the other continents because Opedia sits smack in the middle of the ocean, with the closest landmass of any significance a 2-week boat journey in ideal conditions. Frenia is ruled by King Brenbad and Queen Eleanor, and the capital city serves as home base for the royal family, as well as their accompanying retinue of 23 unendingly.
Oh,
My goodness,
God.
what was that? That scared me.
I'll mute. I'll mute so
It's
you can
okay.
finish your.
It's okay. That just scared me so bad. Okay. Retinue of 23 unendingly dramatic noble houses, the number of which, until fairly recently, was 24, before the freshly minted House Shiplock committed some light treason. Something to do with aiding enemy spies, the story was a bit muddy. The patriarch was beheaded, the heiress fled, and the house became the first in centuries to have their title revoked and the first ever to have it revoked within a generation of it being granted. Even more recently, another young noble house had a scandal where the patriarch's daughter, a highly respected and seemingly loyal city watch guard, was put to death for attempted treason. No further details were given, but the fact that her twin brother, a fellow city watch guard, was immediately promoted and paraded as a model citizen certainly raised some eyebrows. Naturally, these events provided the already gossip-rich city with nothing less than a lottery of new rumors. They have also led to the ancestral noble families to express their distaste for the acquired nobility much louder than usual, and the already present rift between the two categories has deepened significantly. Why does any of this matter? After all, you're 4 commoners. Quite bizarre and fairly talented ones, yes, but in comparison to the opulence of the nobility, you might as well be scrubbing the streets. Simply put, the nobles have some hand in nearly every aspect of every corner of the city, and even outside the city limits, where each family owns a fief, a parcel of Afrenian land, where they have full control. Unless the king or queen decide they have something to say about it, of course. Aside from that, there'd been very clear-cut division in the city before, nobility versus everybody else. It was a lousy arrangement, yes, but simple. Now it seems more like nobility versus nobility, with the common folk unsure what moves to make in this new dynamic. If you entered the city from its northmost entrance, via the appropriately named Northern Lane, the first building you see on the scenic Bayside stroll is Van Lotch Prison. From the outside, Van Lotch Prison is pretty much what you'd expect, a towering gray stone fortress, easily one of the tallest in the district. It's built not just directly on the shoreline, but even a little bit past it, with the back half of the structure poking several yards into the water. The building is completely devoid of windows except for the very top, where a vertical slit, reinforced with iron bars, sits in the center of each of the building's 4 sides, all with a crossbow sticking out. But you're not outside the prison. You're inside it. Specifically, you're in cell block D, cell number 7, according to the crooked, rusty sign above the entryway. You're without your weapons, as well as all your other belongings, save for the skin on your back. When you were brought in, a slightly damp burlap sack was put over your head before you were roughly led through what you assume were a series of hallways. Thankfully, it wasn't long before it was removed. In a split second before you were shoved through a door, you caught a glimpse of a sign that read, "Intake Room." Brace yourself to be roughly strip searched, but instead, you stumbled into a small dim room, completely bare except for 2 suspiciously stained beige jumpsuits, a laughably flat pillow, and a scratchy blanket. You blinked, and suddenly everything on your person, clothes included, was gone. Once you dressed, a small slot appeared in the wall underneath a helpful sign that said, "Wrist through here," in at least a dozen different languages. As soon as you complied, there was a loud metallic clank, and heavy iron manacles were fastened around your wrists. A door opposite the one you entered swung open, and as you stepped out, another guard was casually tossing your things into an overflowing crate. For each of you, very briefly, like a solid sentence or two, just tell me how you would have handled this, just in general, knowing that you're gonna get through and be in the prison. Starting with, let's just go with alphabetical order, so I don't... God, all your letters are so close to each other. Lakar first.
Lakar would have borne this procedure with smug dignity, as if he wasn't even particularly fussed about where he was going or what was happening. Like he's got some ulterior plan.
Gotcha. Let's go Lumen.
Lumen would have been very nervous, kind of akin to hyperventilating, but in no way resisting.
And just for Lumen as a side note, both of your right arms are in one cuff and both of your left arms are in another because you are small enough that it works. And it works. It's weird, but it works, and it's not comfortable.
I was gonna ask how many sets of manacles I have, but okay.
No, you just got the one. They don't even bother. Let's go with Nika.
Matt, you muted, boy.
You muted, boy.
Come back to us, boy.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
She's going through this with quiet, simmering anger, but her expression is relatively blank except for her flared nostrils.
Alright, and let's finish with Trouble.
Petulant child, resisting every step of the way, stomping, huffing, screeching, clawing, just being a pest. Not like a very effective one, but absolute petulant child.
I love it. Would she, do you think she would try to, like, use some form of magic?
I imagine they would have taken her focus, correct? Which was her amulet?
Yes, yeah, they would have.
So,
okay, so yeah, probably not. Well, she thinks she's a wizard.
Her options would be limited enough that I don't think that she would be reaching for that right this second. She's more interested in just a tantrum.
Right. Beautiful. Love it. Alright. Thankfully, you are not subjected to the musty sack over your head again, as you are led out of the room and down a dim hallway. Even before the escorting guard... Sorry, I'm gonna be moving things here. Let me pretend that I am still reading. Even before the escorting guard opens the door to cell block D, the main hallway is filled with a faint, continuous racket, which is this. Oh, did it go off? Of course it did. Why wouldn't it? Faint continuous racket, which intensifies tenfold as soon as you enter. That's actually a little too loud, but that was the effect of it. The cell block you step into, simply put, is revolting. The air is moist and uncomfortably warm, and a heavy scent of shit, sweat, smoke, seaweed, and several other foul S-words hangs in the air. Unsurprisingly, the block isn't very clean, and a suspicious smear or slime catches your eye every time you blink. 2 guards stationed at the front don't react as you're shoved down the dark, chilly stone corridor past the iron-barred cells on either side. There are 12 total cells, 6 on each side, and you're taken all the way to the back 2, passing a 3rd guard on your way. Every cell that you pass is stuffed to capacity with inmates of wildly varying races, sizes, and attitudes. Indistinct figures hiss and jeer and laugh and sob and shout and whistle as you pass, impossible to differentiate between in the flickering torchlight. 2 more guards are stationed at the very back, barely affording you a glance up from their cards as they look extremely bored. Your escorting guard fumbles with the lock on the cell door with a large number 6 carved into the stone above it, and before you know it, you're being unceremoniously shoved inside, the door slamming heavily behind you. The cell itself is much like the rest of the prison. Somber gray stone adorned with only random smears, patches of moss, and mostly unintelligible scratches. The uneven floor is alarmingly slippery and sticky in places where it has no right being so, and the only sources of light are the torches in the corridor, which only partially illuminate the space through the iron bars. The cell is roughly 10 by 15 feet square, and feels much smaller thanks to the 6 large protruding stone slabs on the walls. 3 each on the 2 long walls, one on top of the other. They're too big to be shelves, and a sense of unease washes over you as you realize that those are supposed to be the beds. In terms of decor, there are 2 chamber pots and a water bucket in one corner, and a poorly constructed set of shelves by the door. Lakar, you got here first, a few months ago. When you were brought in, it was quite a bit less crowded than it is now, but you always had at least one cellmate, usually either a completely terrified teenage delinquent, or a harmless, clearly unwell dealer or a petty thief. Whenever they were taken out and never brought back, it was a bit uneasy. You had no clue if they were moved or released or something else entirely. But just a few days ago, your last cellmate, an elderly and completely mute half-orc man, was taken out of the cell without explanation, and just an hour later, 2 new, drastically different cellmates were shoved in. Dakota, would you like to describe what these 2 new cellmates see?
So, Lakar is a very large dragonborn. He is about 8'6", pretty leanly built, not skinny, but solid, kind of like a swimmer's build. He is covered in scars. They're all over his face, his chest, his body. He's not wearing the beige jumpsuit. He just doesn't care. He doesn't have any external genitalia, so why bother? He is lounging on his side on one of the little stone bunks. He doesn't fit. He's got his legs hanging off it, his tail's hanging off of it. It's almost more like he's reclining in a chair than an actual bed.
I love it. Beautiful.
And he blinks at them and kind of tilts his head. He does have very pretty eyes, though. While his scales are like silvery, kind of a grayish purple almost, his eyes seem to take on every color of the ocean, from dark blue to deepest Caribbean green.
Beautiful. Let's go Daarka, then Matt. Would you please describe what Lakar sees in turn?
For my end of it, the car sees a extremely small, almost childlike in stature Kenku, who she doesn't have any like notable physical traits outside of being a Kenku. She looks like a typical Kenku, though her eye color is kind of like this seafoam green. But any kind of defining features about how she presented herself have kind of been replaced with this jumpsuit. So her most notable feature is that she is stomping and just like still mid-tantrum.
He loves her already.
Love it. Matt.
So, as Nika is shoved into the cell block, she's still got a stony expression on her face, but she's holding her chin high. She's proud. She does not want to be here. She does not deserve to be here. She's going to get out of here as soon as she can. You might be able to discern some of that from just how she carries herself and her expression. She has gray skin. She is a Goliath. I'm not sure how common Goliaths are on this continent. I'm not sure if that's something that would be immediately recognizable, but
would turn heads, but not like shocking, and be like, "Oh,
gotcha." Then, yeah, her she has several deep, dark facial markings, sort of like birthmarks that stretch across her eyes. Her skin is a pale alabaster. Her hair is bright white and pulled back in a loose ponytail. And she is ignoring both of her cellmates and is immediately just scanning the cell, scanning the walls, trying to find a weakness in it.
All right. Beautiful. Again, Nicole, I did not forget about you. You're coming. All right.
No, I'm just loving this over here.
Oh, God. Okay. Since your arrival, there have been plenty of grumbles about your quote-unquote luxurious cell. Most others have at least 4 occupants. There are 2 cells that also house a trio, but this is because half the floor is missing, revealing a pitch-black 5-foot drop into 6 inches of still, smelly water. Don't worry, plenty of escapes have been attempted, and it has been widely reported that the stagnant, questionable pool is securely surrounded by the building's stone walls. Most of the time, your view is quite limited to your immediate surroundings, but from inside your cell, you can see into cells 5 and 6, and you can hear those in cell 8 fairly clearly, which is right next to you. The inhabitants of these 3 cells have become familiar to you. Directly across from you are Gandosk Rorori. Wow, didn't say that out loud before I wrote that. A goblin street artist who was arrested for drawing an unflattering caricature of a noblewoman. Samaj Iron Screamer, a grandfatherly orc druid, jailed 30 years ago for orchestrating eco-terrorist attacks on polluting towns. Topiary Fritz, a heavily tattooed female halfling, arrested for speaking ill of a noble. And finally, Amity, a redheaded half-dwarf teenager who somehow has 12 mice up her sleeves, and she was arrested for liberating a pet store. Next to that is Cell 5, which you can sort of see into if you really squeeze against the bars. These inmates include Torin Sakanti, a half-green dragonborn, ex-palace guard, imprisoned for giving his friends tours of noble housing. Old Herthel, an extremely elderly half-halfling who's been in jail for so long that he doesn't remember what he did. There's Marv the Magnificent, a human bard, arrested for singing an unflattering song about the king and had his tongue cut out as punishment. And Derek Creighton, a human rogue who can apparently escape any cell, but it doesn't really matter because he's pinned by metal cylinders through his limbs to the wall. Cell 8 is directly next to you, and while you can't see into it, you've gotten glimpses when passing by and can hear the occupants very clearly. There's Lu Wei, an attractive young elven woman and former bartender arrested for upselling cheap liquor. Joe Hoots, a centaur with an untreated broken front leg, who claims to have been framed by his brother. Jamie Rincewind, a nervous, scrawny human wizard, arrested for selling fake potions. And Henry Shum, a halfling mafia don, who led a rare animal smuggling operation. Block beyond your cluster of the 4 back cells is the view of your block behind the cluster. Wow, that was not a sentence. The block beyond your cluster of the 4 back cells is highly limited, but you can certainly hear several of the louder inmates, and you do get a twice daily peek when you are marched in and out of the block for showers. In addition to these brief peeks, Gandosk and Topiary enjoy regaling you with any knowledge they've gathered on the others. Inmates come and go constantly, but there are a fair bunch of persisting figures. There's someone curled up on the floor in Cell 3 who constantly moans and writhes, seemingly never getting up, not even to eat. No one knows what they look like, let alone a name or crime. In the next cell, there's a pale woman with no shoes, frenzied eyes, and long tangled black hair, who constantly wails and argues with herself in another language. Cell 12 has a dude who's not stopped coughing for longer than 10 minutes since you got here. In Cell 9, there's a very pregnant elven prostitute who loudly and constantly claims to have been the king's lover, is carrying his child, and was put in prison to keep her quiet. There's an elf monk in Cell 4 who's completely mute and seems harmless, but no one knows why he's here, and the guards constantly whisper about keeping a close eye on him. You're mostly surprised by the amount of teenagers and even kids that are brought in, though a majority of them don't stay long, which you hope is just because they've been scared straight. Aside from Amity, there are a few who've been here since before your arrival. Kanya, a terrified and constantly crying half-orc teen jailed for not being able to pay her dead father's debts. Decker, a black dragonborn orphan who purposefully got in prison for the guaranteed food and shelter, and a tiny girl of no more than 9 who never speaks or emotes and no one knows anything about, even her name. It's been roughly 3 days since you 3 met, and there's been plenty of time for you to get to know each other. After all, you're in the cell for 23.5 hours a day, with that other half hour reserved for washing, bathroom breaks, and a brisk walk down the corridor, which is apparently your allotted exercise. You hear the familiar sound of the heavy stone door creaking and slamming, indicating that someone has entered or left the cell block. And sure enough, footsteps start down the corridor. No, wait, 2 sets. You wait for the chorus of jeers to ring out as usual when someone's brought in and out, but everyone seems surprisingly subdued. You do hear one voice say, "What the fuck?" and another say, "Ooh, butterfly!" A guard stops outside your cell, barks at you 3 to stand against the back wall, and begins to unlock the door. In his left hand, he aggressively grips the tiny shoulder of a very unique newcomer, who he then shoves into your cell and slams the door. Nicole, would you please describe what the others see?
Yeah, as soon as I compose myself. So, first thing you notice, besides these dingy, grimy surroundings, is the color of this creature just stands out like a sore thumb. She is hot pink, bright yellow, and orange. Clearly, like some kind of butterfly moth creature. She is not even 3 feet, clearly. 4 tiny little hands in these manacles with these soft little feet poking out of this beige jumpsuit that seems the back has to have been kind of crudely cut open to make room for her wings that are kind of relaxed behind her, that are also huge, big, unblinking eyes, with a very cute little timid mouth that is just making this like faint, nervous nibbling noise, and these big feathery antennas that are just slightly twitching. They're very feathery, and she looks kind of startled, definitely very nervous, trying to just maybe keep calm.
I did the fucking thing on my mic set again. Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, I'm very glad you mentioned the uniform. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. fucking men and their sneezes. Yeah, the prison uniforms aren't meant to accommodate wings nor forearms, and they certainly didn't want to make any alterations for you. So yeah, the back is cut up for your wings, and you can decide what you want to do with your arms, whether they're kind of just hanging down or like through both sets through the single sleeves. Up to you.
I bet yeah, they're skinny enough that they are both through each sleeve, which has been cuffed to no end in general. Yeah. But it's still a little bit awkward because like they're a little lower, but they can kind of fit through there.
All right. So yeah, I mean, you guys, this being just stepped into yourself, so I'm making a gesture movement with my hands to go on.
How long have the other 3 of us been in here at this point?
Lakar, a few months. That would be up to him, the exact amount, but the other, Nika and Trouble, 3 days.
3 days, okay. Trouble has given up on existing. She is resigned herself to certain death and is laying face down somewhere where there is probably not a smear of something gross.
Oh my god. Poor baby.
Are we currently manacled while we are in the cell, or?
In the cell, no, you are not.
Okay. Nika would spare the newcomer a quick glance. Then as soon as the cell door slams closed again and the guards walk off, she resumes her pacing back and forth. She's been at this for days now. There's got to be something she's missed. There's a way out of here. She knows it.
Lakar is very unconcerned. He's just lounging as he was typically doing. He seems to spend his days either just lounging about lazily or occasionally doing like sit-ups or push-ups.
Those are different.
Or, flirting with the guards through the walls or through the bars. So he looks at Lumen and just, oh, welcome.
From the cell across the way, you see the tiny little redheaded girl, Amity, push her head as close as possible, and she goes, Are you a butterfly?
Howdy, my name's Lumen.
I love it so much.
She has a southern accent, I'm dying.
I love it.
She does.
She does, yes.
Please don't stop ever. Please continue.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and work with this light southern belle, but I'm gonna try.
Please. You're pink.
I am. I'm not quite a butterfly. I'm known as a lepion. We're kind of more like moths.
But you have wings.
I think moths also have wings.
Oh. She's like staring at you like with eyes as wide as saucers and just like, this is the happiest she's been in days.
It's nice to meet you. I've got myself in a bit of a pickle though.
I like pickles. I haven't had a pickle in so long. You have any pickles?
No. I wish. I don't have much of anything.
With that, a mouse scurries out of her sleeve and out of the cell, and she starts to cry. And then she, like, backs up so you can't see her. And it's just very sudden and awkward.
Oh.
Well, I think that's the least I've seen her in quite a while.
At the
Lumen
sound...
kind of like...
Oh, go ahead.
Lumen kind of like... Because she was just dropped in the cell and has mostly very intimidating people or morose people in her cell. And so she appreciated this brief interaction of kindness, but now that person's sad again. So she turns back to her cellmates and is just kind of standing there with these big eyes, just kind of looking for a spare bunk.
Upon hearing her voice, Trouble has picked up her head and is just kind of watching that exchange, and it's very hard to discern like a humanoid emotion from her face because she doesn't have a human expression. So it's a little hard to say like if she's exasperated or hopeful or anything of that nature. She's just kind of fucking looking, but for now, that's all.
So then in the same cell that Amity was in, Gandos comes close to the bars, and he's for the people who've been here for a while, Gandos is the boy you know. He's like very friendly, like he'll strike up a conversation, but he's not gonna like bother you if you don't want to talk. Like he's a genuinely like reassuring and nice presence to have, and he like leans as close as he can get, and he says, "Hi, what's your name, sweetie?"
Me?
New girl. Yeah.
Lumen B.
Lumen. I love that. You're not from here, are you?
No, I came here from quite a ways away.
What are they? What happened? If you don't mind me asking, are you being kept as a specimen? And he kind of laughs awkwardly and is like, sorry, sorry.
I hope not.
Well, I guess we all are. I mean, yeah, you lucked out with these cellmates. They're a talkative, really exciting bunch. And he chuckles to himself at his joke, and he says, "If you need anything that I can provide you from being locked in a cell, just ask."
Say that as though I'm not a good conversationalist.
Did I not just say that you guys were outgoing and talkative?
Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic.
Lakar, we've become... Lakar, you're my man, you know it.
Yes, I'm aware.
Alright. So one evening after dinner, but before lights out, you hear the stone door creak and slam, and steady footfalls immediately start down the corridor. Hang on, I'm gonna not try to read at the same time, and I'm just gonna do that. Bloop, bloop, bloop. 3 separate "evening, sirs" are barked out by the other 3 guards stationed further up the cell block, followed by a smattering of mocking echoes from a few inmates. "Evening, sir! Evening, sir!" You hear the guard closest to your cell mutter, "Ah, fuck," followed by hurried shuffling as he and his partner straighten up and smooth their robes. The footfalls grow louder and louder, and after a few seconds, a guard strolls past your cell, stopping just past the door, right in front of the 2 other guards. I'm pretty sure you've never seen this particular guard before. The prison guards are an offshoot of the City Watch, and they tend to put the bare minimum effort into their appearance. All guards across the board wore the same dark teal robes and a silver helmet, one of those ones that's basically just a metal bowler hat. Those relegated to prison duty usually wear the robes rumpled and open over plain clothes in varying degrees of cleanliness, and you've never seen one wear their helmet for longer than a few minutes at a time. This newcomer is dressed more like the guards you've seen patrolling around the city. Robe perfectly pressed and fully done up, gleaming silver badge neatly pinned just above his heart, and an equally polished silver helm with a visor that obscures most of the top half of his face. In the dim light, you can just barely make out dark brown skin and a well-groomed goatee, but not much else. And he claps, he reaches into his pockets and he says, good evening, at ease. I'm here to collect inmates. He frowns and he pulls a scrap of parchment out of his robe and squints at it. 768013D7, 768656D7, 768467D7, and 769004D7. External conference pending release. Good evening, Captain. The guard closer to your cell kind of does like an awkward bow. I don't think we got any notification that there were any transfers or anything today. The guard next to him gasps slightly and jabs her elbow in his side, and the first guard goes, of course I wouldn't. And he kind of trails off, and there's a split second of deathly silence, almost as if the entire cell block is listening in, but you know from the guard's hushed tones that that's impossible. The newcomer takes a step towards the guard, causing his now trembling underling to shuffle back and hit the wall. I didn't mean... Constable Rokeem. As he speaks, you feel a low, almost imperceptible tremor in the usually very sturdy structure, and at first you think perhaps the guard is just shaking that badly, but no, it's definitely more than that. It's over in a split second, but not before the trembling gets strong enough to knock both of the prison guards off balance and onto their asses. They scramble to get up, and the Constable Rokeem practically blubbers an apology as the inmates in the surrounding cells laugh hysterically. Interestingly, none of the other prisoners, you included, seem to have been affected by the tremor at all. You felt it, but it was not strong enough to knock you on your ass. And the guard continues. As I was saying, I will be vacating cell D7 effective immediately. I do apologize if you misinterpreted my thoughtful choice to keep you in the loop on my actions as a request for you to demonstrate your incompetence. Now, if you do not mind, I am going to continue following the orders I was given by a superior. I recommend you start doing the same. And with that, he turns to your cell and he taps the meal slot impatiently. Wrist please, through here, now. And he unclips a set of manacles from his belt and readies them by the slot.
Trouble is there in 3 seconds, not even.
He cuffs you, and he taps for the next one.
Where are you taking us?
A superior has requested an audience with you. Wrist please.
Nika stares him down for a moment and then offers her wrists.
Cuffed, next.
Yep, Lakar steps up.
Cuffed. Butterfly. Last.
She obliges in the appropriate manner. At this point, her uniform, which had been cuffed severely, it's mostly up to her shoulder. She has been nervously nibbling all night. For some reason, are very talkative.
Oh my god. So yeah, once you're all shackled around the wrists, he opens the cell door and he beckons you forward. Oh, I'm so sorry, I hit my thing. I was literally beckoning. Sorry, Leslie, please. Yeah, he beckons you forward one by one, and he shackles your waist as well. And then once you're all your waists are shackled, he connects the shackles so you're like in a very dramatic line together. But he does this like the guards they haven't, like, you guys specifically, like, laid pretty low, but the guards, like, they full on usually are just like beating people for funsies. Like, the guards across the board, whether they're in prison, outside the prison, are pretty garbage. There are a few good ones and it's a few bad apples, blah blah blah, but they're power hungry assholes for the most part. But he's like very, like, gentle and like careful and making sure you're comfortable and everything. And so he straightens up, he snaps his fingers, and he points at the female guard and he says, Flosham, kindly serve as my escort through the building. Ungart, you as well. And he indicates the sole guard in the middle of the block, who quickly rushes over, obviously leaving out the guy who talked back to him. Ungart, the dwarf guard, stands behind your group, and Flosham, the female guard, situates herself on your left side, forcing you forward in a line, like almost against the cells. And the captain takes point and starts down the corridor. And I would ask if you follow, but you kind of don't have a choice because he kind of has you on a leash. So he doesn't yank at you, but if you do not move, if you don't move.
Shit.
What's our marching order?
Oh shit! I didn't. Fuck. There are walls.
You're
I
fine.
forgot.
You can move people forcibly, I think. There you go.
Okay, beautiful. It's up to you what your marching order is. It doesn't really matter. This is going to, there's going to be a theater of the mind coming up soon, so don't worry too much.
Trouble is chomping at the bit.
Love it. So he starts down the corridor, and just before the door, the guards stop, swivel on you, and place a burlap sack over each of your heads. Again.
As a hand goes to do that, it gets a peck.
Yep. Ow! You get a smack on the back of the head.
She claws back at him very angrily.
You're hustled through a series of winding corridors, roughly kept on track by the guards every few seconds, despite however well you're cooperating. You hear a few snippets of conversation from unfamiliar voices, as well as several overly formal greetings to the captain as you pass. After a few moments, you come to a stop, and there's a creak of hinges and a rush of fresh air, so lovely, it makes you slightly emotional. Let me just... don't be... Guys, I know you all want to rave about my map-making skills, but, like, please just keep it to yourself. Like, I don't have time for that.
It looks fabulous. Also, would you like me to turn off Fog of War for this map?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you
Keep
so
going.
much. Yes. Though you can't see, you can tell that the surrounding light has gotten brighter, and even that subtle shift through a thick cloth after so long in near darkness hurts your eyes so much that you're grateful there's a barrier. Let me just turn on the music.
I'm sorry, could you say again? How bright is it outside?
Oh, it's not, it's like not even that bright, like it's just brighter than the building you were in, and like it has been so dim for so long that it's like,
Okay, noted.
Let me put that, 1 second. Oh, that's dramatic. Okay. Yeah, so, I can take it from here, dismissed, the captain says, and the guards murmur salutations before you hear their footsteps retreating, and you feel a sharp yank on your chains and take a few steps forward. A few things happen in quick succession as you do so. First, the ground under your still bare feet is unmistakably dirt and grass. Next, the burlap sacks are removed, and you are completely overwhelmed by not only what's left of the day's sunlight, which is not a lot, but also the sheer amount of just colors and open space around you. And it's like, this is like a completely drab area. You have just been so cooped up in nowhere that it's just like, oh my god, this is beautiful nature. And finally, you feel like the chains around your wrists and waist suddenly weigh 100 pounds. You sort of slump a bit from the sheer unexpectedness, but you're able to orient yourself after a moment. It's not like you're like knocked over, but there's a clear shift the second you step out of that building that something happened with the chains. And the captain stands before you stiffly as you each take a moment to adjust to your drastically changed situation. You're in a fenced-in area right by the bay. The prison is closest to the gate, and then further in there's a handful of military buildings. And yep, he just looks at you and waits until you're straightened up.
Trouble pecks at her chains because they got heavy, and she hates them.
All right. Well, we have to get going. It's not proper to be late, even if you are coming from prison. Now, I'm going to cast a spell on you to make you look like fellow members of the City Watch. This is solely for your benefit, because certain guards make a game out of attacking prisoners in transport. Additionally, I can tell you confidently that any plan of escape you have forming in your head right now is absolutely useless. But if you're so inclined to give something a try, please do go ahead. Just give me a heads up so I can have a good chuckle. Though I assure you this is a meeting you want to take place without a hitch. Your freedom is within reach. But believe me when I say that this is not the moment where it's granted. And he looks at each of you pointedly, and for just a second, something in his expression softens, and he just looks super, super tired. What were you saying, whoever talked?
Trouble, as they're talking, casts Mask of Many Faces on herself and looks just like this person who is addressing them.
Yeah, is that a warlock
verbal and somatic. It's
yeah. Okay, so it is.
I did check. It's not
giving
material.
away.
It's not. Yeah.
No, but it is magic. Like you're casting a spell.
Correct.
It feels for a second. You know when you're having a dream and you are falling and you wake up, you have that feeling of just like kind of a sudden jolt of like something was just stopped, and the captain looks at you quite pointedly, and he kind of smiles in spite of himself, and he says, "These manacles are quite a sophisticated piece of work. I do apologize, but the beauty of it is that he just nods, and he waves his hand, and he casts a spell. And if you look down at yourself and at the people around you, you are now." You look like just kind of generic city watch guards, just like brown hair, brown eyes, human, like just like fully generic, like casual. And since the spell, you do look, it's not like two of you are very, very short. You're about average height. That is something that you could do. And so he does that. He looks at you. Sorry.
And then one giant of a man.
Yeah.
And one human is pecking at their shackles.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And he snaps his finger and he says, "Oh, right." He steps back and he scans the ground intently for a moment. And then he extends a hand towards a jagged, oddly placed rock about 2 feet away. And you watch as a 5-foot cube of dirt topped by the rock slowly rises above the ground, shifts over slightly, and falls into a pile about a foot away. And he goes over, lifts a scuffed brown satchel out of the hole, and he flicks his wrist, and the dirt cube lifts back up and falls back into its original place as if no disturbance happened. He brushes the bag off and opens the flap, and he reaches an arm in much, much further than the size of the bag should allow, all the way up to the elbow. And after a moment, he pulls out a fistful of random items, all much too big to not be bulging the seemingly flat bag. A massive scarf, elaborate hooked polearm, a climbing shoe, and an overflowing wallet. "They did not want me to give your things back yet, for collateral, you know." And he puts them back and he rummages further. "But I do not think they fully understand that things like armor and weapons are as essential as rations to some folks. I will give you everything back after the meeting. You won't be able to exactly get everything situated with your wristband. But you have my word, if that means anything to you. It's okay if not, but..." And he pulls out a pair of shoes and then another. This is assuming had trouble in the car when they were taken in, they were barefoot. Is that a correct assumption?
Ankle bracelets don't count, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Okay, so yeah, he just pulls out the 2 pairs and he puts them on the ground, because it's completely normal that both the car and trouble, like, people, races with much tougher feet than the normal races, usually, not usually, but they can go barefoot. It's not weird, but humans, if they're going barefoot, it's because they don't have shoes. And so he kind of puts them down in front of Nika and Lumen. He says, "These you may have now. I would not wish having to walk the streets of the city on my worst enemy." He carefully places each pair in front of he doesn't really know which is which. He kind of just guesses by the size. He puts the smaller one in front of Lumen and the bigger one in front of Nika. And he like lets you step into them on your own, but if it looks like you need help, he like really awkwardly tries to help without being weird about it, and it doesn't really work, but he does try.
I think Lumen's shoes are like slippers, so she is able to slip them on. But this whole time,
grateful for that.
She's been so nervous. Like, these manacles are so heavy, and her arms are like basically trembling. Like, she can't lift up her arms at all. And so she wants to chew on something, but she can't get the sleeves in her mouth, so she kind of like managed to get a corner of her collar of her jumpsuit, and has been just like furiously munching on that the whole time.
My
He's been
God.
talking.
Sweet
So,
baby.
Nika would have been wearing boots. Does he throw boots in front of her, or just shoes?
If those were what she was wearing when she came in, they're boots. So they probably have an awkward moment. He does like the bare minimum of helping you tie them.
She would wave away his help and kneel to try and lace them herself. And she's chained next to Lakar, who's really fucking tall, so she can't exactly reach. So she unceremoniously yanks the chain to pull him down to a lower position so she can reach the boots and get them laced up.
I love it. I love it.
Lakar kind of jolts a little bit, but then he just smiles and leans over obligingly.
Oh yeah, he loves it.
Trouble, as they're doing this, is looking back at the guard and just goes, "What are you doing?"
I already said a superior of mine has requested an audience with you four. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. He straightens up and he slings the satchel over his back and he exhales very deeply and he says, I recommend you follow close behind. Come along, let's keep a brisk pace. And with that, he starts off towards the road. Do you follow without any issue, or?
Hop, 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 hop. There's a human who's just fucking pogoing down the road.
I love it. It's like, oh, these are the new city cards? Okay.
These are the new converts. Don't worry about it. They're green.
They were the pity hires.
Listen, they're the captain's like cousins or nephew or something. Just let it happen.
I do think it's
Full nepotism.
funny that we're all chained, because like, besides the height differences, besides the fact that Trouble has to be hopping, Lakar is huge, so big strides. Nika's normal. Poor Lumen, short legs.
Nika's not normal.
Well,
We don't have a normal
That's right.
in this
She's
party.
big. You're right. We
No,
just have
really.
two bigs and two littles.
The captain is like a solid like 5'8", so he's like the beautiful, perfect average.
He's normal.
Between you guys.
It would have been like the most merciful thing for us to move everybody in like an ascending order, so that there is the least strain. But instead we have little, big, little.
Just chaos.
Yeah, poor Lumen's little short legs are just like, and she has to catch her breath, like, and then she has to speed up again.
And Nika's like stepping on Trouble's heels.
Yeah, Nika's
Lakar
pushing the procession along, and she is straining to be as far away from Lakar as possible. Like, she's keeping that chain taut.
Meanwhile, Lakar is being very polite and making sure to keep his tail away from swatting Lumen about or tripping her.
That's nice. That's thoughtful. Alright, so the captain turns left on the road outside the prison, and you shuffle along down Northern Lane. The neighborhood you're in, hang on, let me just here's some art for you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. If you're looking at the map, you're welcome. The neighborhood you're in, High Road's Edge, is pretty poor and run down, but this little block is comparatively clean and quiet. Based on the sun and the timing of your dinner, you guess it's around 8 p.m., just past the peak of the evening bustle, so there aren't too many people out and about, but it is the warmer months, so the days are longer, so you probably have like a half hour before the sun goes down. So you pass the large flat temple of Odhambo, the post office, herbalist, and the Potter's Guild before making a right and continuing along the excessively tall, looming marble walls of Fair Fortress, the structure that separates... Just drawing my lines. Separates Inner Glanchester from Outer. A small cluster of markets stirs to your right as merchants take stock of their end-of-day wares and prepare to pack up for the night. And before you know it, you are approaching a Fair Fortress gatehouse where a small group of City Watch guards are stationed. No matter how long you've been in the city, You've probably been yelled at by one of these guards at some point for stepping too close to a gate, or simply because your existence as a commoner seemed to bother them. But now, with your illusory appearance and a clearly important man leading you along, these guards jump to attention and snap salutes in near unison, practically falling over themselves. You slow down a little bit before the entrance, just kind of the bottleneck, and you become acutely aware of all the imposing structures around you. A citadel looms large behind you, and before you, Fair Fortress itself stretches both up and around. There are 2 turrets perched high up on the wall on either side of the gate, so high up you can't see if anyone's stationed there, but you're sure someone is, and the captain offers some brisk pleasantries to the guards, but he impatiently signals and the doors open. The guards take the hint and step out of the way, and with that, you enter the heart of the city. Music change!
Oh boy!
Because you're in a different place now. None of you have technically set foot in the Inner Glanchester before. Hang on, that's a loud boy. I also want to have this. It's not too much.
If you turn the volume on that to like the 50% mark, then that's good for the recording, but then you can turn down the global volume controls, and that's just your personal settings.
Oh, smart. Okay. Okay. Yeah, none of you have technically set foot in the Inner Glanchester before. Lakar, you've been in and out of Candlelight Harbor, which is the main harbor, dozens of times, which is technically within Inner Glanchester, but visiting sailors are relegated to Mariner's Ward, a rough-and-tumble Outer Glanchester district adjacent to the harbor itself. And harbors are harbors. They tend to look about the same no matter where you are. So the city beyond the coastline is exquisite. Nothing like Outer Glanchester. Not even close. For starters, the paths and roads are cobblestone, which is the same as the ground on the other side of the walls. The shape and pattern is identical, in fact. The difference lays in the fact that the stones are a sparkling shade of ivory, a stark contrast to the mottled shades of brown in the rest of the city. As you pass a man scrubbing the ground with a soapy brush, you realize that the city simply doesn't bother to maintain the streets outside of Inner Glanchester. There are bright flowers and planters lining the streets, and not a single building you pass is sagging or partially collapsed, which is very commonplace in the outer city. The people you pass exude an aura of confidence and wealth so strong you can't help but avoid eye contact. The overall difference is so stark and so blatant, it's almost funny. A city inside a city, a completely separate world. Captain marches along confidently, but never too far ahead. You seem to have entered a more residential area. Oh, wait. In case you couldn't tell. There's a cluster of shops coming up on your left, and past that, much further ahead, you can just make out where the street opens up into a central plaza with an extravagant fountain in the center. From the neighborhood's position and contents, you can pretty easily guess that you're inside the neighborhood noble quarters, which is the district where the noble families and high-ranking officials reside. While the houses on either side of you are certainly larger than your average residence, you're surprised to see that the buildings are by no means the sprawling mansions you had pictured in your mind's eye, which makes sense seeing as Inner Glanchester is a good deal smaller than the rest of the city, and there are a significant amount of nobles. Still, the housing is nothing to scoff at. Neat rows of elegant yet eclectic townhouses line the perfectly landscaped street, each unique but still very much part of a cohesive whole. The buildings are constructed of smooth stone, and each facade is a different rich shade: warm red, mustard yellow, muted turquoise, vibrant indigo, and are enriched with lavishly decorated friezes, rococo moldings, elaborate porticos, sculpted gables, sprawling murals, and all other manner of intricate embellishments. Uniform arrangements of balconies and bay windows offer brief slices of the extravagant interiors. The roofs are made of all manner of hammered metals, from silver to bronze to gold, and some are topped with statues or spires. 1 second, I need to drink water.
Please do.
You've only been walking down the street for a minute when the captain suddenly turns and approaches one of the houses. It's one of the least flashy homes you've seen thus far, but still gorgeous. Gray blue walls lined with reliefs of soldiers at attention and trimmed with highly polished onyx, topped by a tall pitched iron roof. Many of the homes have a coat of arms featured prominently above the door, and this is one of them. It's a blue shield with maroon spikes coming down the top, a black triangle at the bottom with a gray rhino in the center, and a maroon sword above that. The crest is surrounded by black and red tendrils and topped with an odd eye symbol. I'll show you this later. I know. Underneath, there's a cursive phrase in a foreign language. It says, Slaosiat. Lumen. I think just Lumen. You speak Celestial, right?
No, I don't think so.
You don't?
Nika speaks Celestial.
Yeah, I knew someone did. Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Don't answer
Why
that.
not? Yeah, in Celestial, Slaosiat translates to might is right.
Yikes.
The captain the captain stops.
Proceed.
The captain stops in front of the imposing gray door, exhales slowly, and he turns to look at you. We're going to be meeting with Duke Tastin Brishani. Have any of you had any dealings with the city's nobility in the past?
Lumen just kind of makes like a muffled squeak, but shakes her head no.
Good morning.
All right. Sorry, what did she say? I
Good
know.
morning.
Okay. He looks at Nika and Lakar.
Nika just shakes her head.
No, not directly, though I imagine I may have liberated a few things from their supplies somewhere now and again.
The captain kind of, like, very visibly stops himself from smiling. And just to... Yeah, I'm just gonna have you all roll for the first time. And just do a general... If you have, like, a history proficiency, you can add that, but let's just say, like, a general intelligence check.
Oh boy. What's my... Oh, I do have a history thing. Oh wait, proficiency
And I do
or
actually...
modifier?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, like, if your history is higher than just your intelligence would be, you can add that, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just also in general, I will probably stick to, like, for roles that are going around, let's stick to character's name, alphabetical order, so Lakar, Lumen, Nika, Trouble.
I've got a 3.
Okay. Alright. Lumen.
I'm doing great.
16.
What was that again? 16? Right, Nika?
5.
5? And Trouble.
Trouble lives under a rock with a 9?
Alright, well, Lumen, somehow after only being there for a very short time, you seem to remember, actually you do all know at least, you remember that the prisoners in the cells around you, let me just do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of the 12 people in the cells that were around you, like 5, 6, 8, you were cell 7, 5 of them were arrested because of some form of disrespect to the nobles. And Lumen, you, just from being very afraid and just chewing on your fabric all the time and just kind of absorbing the conversations, you know that probably at least a fourth of the entire prison population is in for something similar. Because that's how the nobility is the gist of that. Alright. Oh god. Okay. Okay, yeah, so he said, yeah, Tastin. So all I can do is strongly recommend that you treat this man with respect, even if he shows you very little. Address him as your grace. And at least pretend to be thankful at whatever opportunity he is going to give you. I cannot force you to do this. It isn't technically a requirement, but I know for a fact that you will get the sweetest deal if you do so. His ego is very powerful. in particular, but most of these people will have anyone jailed if the wind is blowing the wrong way, as I'm sure you know. But that is not all the full extent of it. The cruel things I have seen some of these people do without a second thought keeps me up some nights. And he turns to the door and gives you four an inscrutable backwards glance, and then he knocks firmly. And immediately you hear a distant voice shout from the other side, "Who's there?" Captain Calabra, Your Grace, with your request, as discussed. I'm going to have you all roll another history check, just for what you would know about the noble family, and also this is the first time you've heard the captain's name, so we're going to see if you know anything about that. This will be just one in general for that.
I fumbled it out of my hand, but that
So
was
that
a
will
nice
be
roll.
Are we still going in order?
Yeah.
Okay.
17.
17, right?
14?
14? Was that another 14, sorry?
No, 4.
4, okay. Trouble.
Even worse with an 8.
Love it. Okay, so,
Oh,
sorry?
sorry.
Even worse
You
than
were
my
saying
last
even
roll.
worse than my 4. Never mind.
No, you're dumber than
Gotcha.
she is. It's fine.
So Lumen again, and also Lakar, definitely this actually makes a lot of sense that Lakar would know this, but Lumen and Lakar, the family, the House Brishani, and let me just spell that for you. That's B-R-I, oh, I'll write it in the fucking chat. Brishani. You know that he had said the name Tastin, is who you're meeting, and that's the patriarch of the house. And he's mainly known for, number one, the house in general is known for, like, their history is, like, they're the, like, soldier, watch, guard, funder, employer of mercenaries. That's their thing. Tastin's a patriarch, and he's known for, he was married to a fellow noblewoman. Well, he is a man. Fellow noble. And that was a marriage that, like, shook the city. But then, fairly recently, a few months ago, which is why, because this would have been old news otherwise, she just, like, casually disappeared, and everyone was forbidden of saying her name, and he remarried, like, immediately. And he has 2 kids who are little shits. One is a much more highly functioning little shit who's kind of a terror, and one is just like a huge dumbass who's somehow a high-ranking Royal Guard member. And that's mainly that. But more interestingly, with the name, you hear Captain Calabra, and I would say just Lakar, like, you know that Calabra is also a noble family. That would be Lakar and Lumen knowing that, but only Lakar would put together that Calabra. In the beginning, I had mentioned that there was a noble family who's, like, one of the City Watch guards. She was put to death for, like, conspiring, and her twin brother had been, like, paraded as a model citizen right after that, even though no one really knows what happened. That's him. So, that is what you know. So he knocked someone. Someone had said yes. Sorry, lost my place. Yeah, okay. So there's a moment of silence, and then the sound of a chair scraping, accompanied by some low grumbling. And the door swings open, and there stands a tall, portly, tabaxi man, scowling down at the 5 of you. He is strikingly lion-esque, with golden fur, light green eyes, a tufted tail, crinkled whiskers, and a brown mane that's oddly slicked down with some form of pomade, and he wears a dark green crushed velvet doublet and pinstripe black dress pants, but is without shoes, his massive black clawed paws tapping lightly on the marble floors. And he says, "Your timing is poor, but I suppose I can't complain. Come, now." And you're hustled through the front door so quickly that your brain can't even really properly register the opulence of the massive gold-veined marble hallway you step into before you're immediately led through another door to your left. And change.
Oh boy.
Oh shit. Oh god, everything's
Cute.
fucked. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, you step into a room that looks exactly how you would expect a very rich nobleman's study to look like. Floors, walls, furniture, all made out of sleek wood, accented by rich red fabric and gold detailing. On the left side of the room, there's a roaring fireplace and a seating area along the wall. A piano alongside a gold statue of a handsome elf in the far corner. On the right, there's a cluttered desk flanked by bookshelves in the far corner, with several chairs arranged in front of it. The captain quietly shuts the door, and Duke Brishani ambles over to the desk and plops down into his overstuffed armchair with a grunt. Sit, I'm sure you have countless questions, and I don't have all day. Drop the spell, Calabra, I want to see what they look like. And the captain waves a hand, and the soldier Luzin drops in front of you. And a slight sneer spreads across the Duke's face as he takes in your collective appearances. Sorry, yes? Yes.
Looks like some people are having problems seeing the map. I only see myself in this particular room.
Oh shit,
Is it
I'm
the
so
Fog of
sorry.
Oregon?
It absolutely is.
I got
I'm
it,
so
don't
sorry.
worry.
Thank you so much,
How
Aaron.
about that?
Beautiful, thank you. I'm so sorry. Why do they have that automatically enabled?
I don't know,
Oh,
that
it's
shouldn't be a
blinking.
default setting. What's up, Dakota?
Oh god, it's strobing for me.
Oh,
Jesus.
no, you might have to
Refresh
reload.
your page.
Yeah.
Mine,
Yeah,
yeah,
try
refresh your page. Mine was doing that in the city map.
Oh, there's a crosshair. There we go. Okay,
Beautiful. All right.
excellent.
Yeah, so he takes in your collective appearance and is clearly amused, and he looks over at the captain. He says, "Tea, coffee," and he looks directly at Trouble, and he kind of cocks a brow. And he says, "Juice,
Coffee.
anything? Coffee, okay. Anyone else?
Water will be fine.
Water."
Nico's silent.
Collabora, give them what they want. You know what I want, my normal thing, whatever. The captain goes over to a small table by the piano and he starts fixing drinks. And the Duke leans back in his chair and he steeples his claws together, peering at you over top of them, clearly sizing you up. Because I'm a very reasonable man, I'm going to have Captain Collabora remove your cuffs. Any sort of funny business will see all of you at the bottom of Quill Bay. Are we understood? I'm so sorry, you cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
Perfectly, Your Grace.
Love it. Right. So he nods.
Good to
Oh,
me.
sorry.
Sounds good to me, Your Grace.
He nods to the captain, who mutters something under his breath, and your cuffs immediately unlock and open, and the heavy feeling you'd grown used to since leaving the prison is immediately lifted, like gravity has loosened its stranglehold on you. A fog in your mind you hadn't even really noticed is suddenly cleared, and your thoughts no longer feel like they're slogging through mud. And the Duke smiles at your apparent relief, and he drums upon the desk, and he says, "So, let's talk business, shall we? Now, I understand why you may think otherwise, but truth be told, being nobility really is quite difficult, especially in our present moment. Everyone is trying to bring you down from all sides. Those adjacent, those above, those below. One can never rest if they want to get ahead." He holds up a paw and he closes his eyes briefly and he smiles and he says, "I'll spare you all the preamble. In short, I'm offering an agreement with you four where you will complete a very simple errand for me in exchange for your freedom. Of course, I would love to have one of my very loyal employees do such an important task for me, or even one of our fine Afrenian soldiers or city guards, but unfortunately, the timing of certain continental campaigns have occupied most of our available troops, and as our dear Captain Calabra knows all too well, the City Watch have their hands more than full with the preparations for the Estival Carnival as the days grow longer and hotter." Trouble. He tries to
The
ignore you.
monologue has lost her. She's gone.
he very much notices, but is just continuing. He's trucking through. I don't suppose any of you four have ever attended an Estival Carnival celebration in the city before, and you all know what Estival Carnival is. This is common knowledge. It's celebrated everywhere. But only Lakar has probably been to, like, a substantial celebration in a city other than, like, just a little village kind of hurrah. And it's here's some fun lore. It is the day it takes place is the 1st of Merusalem, which is the next month. So it's in 15 days. And that marks the beginning of Sensue's Embrace, and also the beginning of Estival, which is, in our terms, the beginning of summer. It's the summer solstice. I'm just annoying. It's the most eagerly celebrated festival of the year, and it lasts for 3 days. Festivals, fairs, dances, feasts, circuses, general merrymaking, some religious celebrations, but that's, like, mainly for, like, the specific worshippers of those gods. It's just it's a big old rager. So yeah, he asked if any of you have attended.
So yeah, Lakar will nod.
This man is a man who knows how it gets. It's trouble playing the piano.
Trouble just as they're having this conversation, you just hear one note of a key just plunk. And then she looks to see the reaction.
Yeah. He, like, stops, but, like, forces himself to continue. Nicole, were you saying something?
I think you're right in the sense that perhaps Lumen hasn't been to, like, a big city festival, but I think, like, festivals are definitely, like, her jam.
Yeah.
In general. So, like, I'm probably familiar with the concept, like, very well in other places.
Mm-hmm. She's a party.
You actually probably, you would probably know actually even more the religious side, which is more like just like fertility rites and bonfires and things like that. Still a little wild, but not like just like a day drinking festival.
Lumen's eyes have been like fixated on the ornate carpet like for most of this time. As well as, secondary question, are there any bright lights in this room?
I see a fireplace.
Yeah, there's a fireplace, but I wouldn't say that's bright. I'd actually say, no, it's, like, pretty evenly lit. There are maybe, like, a few candles, like, on things. No, there's definitely nothing that would drive her mad, except for maybe the fabric.
Yeah, so staring at the carpet, but hearing about the festivals, that kind of, like, catches her attention.
Yeah.
Oh, I do love me some festivities.
I do love me some festivities.
We got a great group here. What about you? What about you, beautiful young lady? Looks at Nika.
He raises a single eyebrow at him.
Right.
Sorry, keep going.
He looks at the captain and gives him an exaggerated wink, which the captain returns with a very weak smile. Rowdiness, like you can barely believe. We get the guards on preparations 2 full months before. And this year especially, we need all the watchfulness we can get. And his face darkens momentarily, and he scratches his neck absently, staring into the distance for a second before straightening up. As I was saying, there are certain matters that are better kept under tight wraps, utilizing contracted individuals outside your usual circle. And if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that you four are about as far outside my usual circle as one could get. He laughs heartily for a moment, like a little too long, but then continues.
Lakar's nodding and smiling. Yes, of course.
Oh, I love it. There are 2 deliveries I require. One from me to an individual, and one from that individual to me. This individual is out of the city quite often, but never far, always back within a day. I have generously given you a full week for the task, but it's unlikely it will take that long. They're in the employ of the city morgue, and that's where your best chance of finding them will be. Zailman Freecrest is the name. Though there's some ridiculous title. Do you remember it, Calabra? Hang on, I'm gonna paste the name into the chat for you. And the captain, he goes, yes, your grace, it's Death Warden. And the Duke scoffs a little bit and he nods. That's it, Death Warden Zailman. I'd recommend you address them that way, get off on the right foot. Titles are super important. And he He looks directly at Lakar and kind of inclines his head. He is very happy with how he's being treated, no matter how surface level it is. Loves it. You'll give them the parcel that I will be giving you, and in return they will give you a parcel to bring back to me. Truly could not be simpler. And listen, I know exactly what you're thinking. This sounds like an easy recipe for a quick escape out of the city. I don't blame your thoughts for straying that way. But unfortunately, nobility, the smart ones among us anyway, as few as there are, work with inflexible contracts to prevent just that. And he opens a desk drawer and he pulls out 2 items. A small, tightly rolled scroll and a thin rectangular package wrapped in brown paper. He unrolls the parchment, and while the whole thing is only about 2 feet long, it is completely filled with tight, cramped, teeny tiny script. Readable, but a pair of reading glasses and a strong light source is probably needed to get through the whole thing without a headache. And he lays it down on the table, allows you to look it over. And of course you're free to look this over, but allow me to summarize the most pertinent points. Upon the completion of the contract terms, you will be completely and totally free of its restrictions and punishments. You will not have to return to prison, and you will collectively receive 1,000 gold. If everything goes well and you are interested in further work, we can discuss those matters further, but if you would prefer for us to never see or speak of each other again, that is completely acceptable. As for the consequences of breaking any of the terms, in a few words, immense injury that can become permanent and possibly death. Understood?
Your Grace.
Yeah, feel free to look it over. He kind of leans back and pushes it towards you.
We do this for you. You let us go.
If it's done properly and without the break. Actually, yeah. If it's, yeah. Sorry, that was me fucking up. That was Abby fucking up on it. Yes, soon, free and clear. And again, take a look. It's all written there. In, the parchment itself. It's red ink, very, very much a contract in the language that it's using. And if any of you wanna specifically look it over in any way. Just let me know. I'll have you roll an intelligence check.
Not. She's just stepping right up and saying, "Fine. When do we start?"
Well, it starts as soon as the last signature is on the paper. But if any of your party like to look it over.
Trouble makes a little grabby hand gesture at him. She doesn't know where a pen is. There's too many words for her to read. She's just fine. It's fine.
He looks at he's reaching for a quill, but he's looking at Lumen and Lakar if you would like to do anything.
Yeah, Lakar's reading through it. But
okay,
go ahead.
I just have a question. Why us of all creatures?
Trouble's other hand points to Lumen.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I picked a cell at random, and I told Captain Clobber here if it seemed like a dud, maybe pick another one. I'm gonna have you all roll an insight check.
Oh boy! I forget what her insight is. Did I have it good on this character? Not really. Cool. It fell. Oh my god, I really did drain all of the luck out of my rolls with those stupid fucking test rolls. 9!
Woo!
8.
7.
4.
Oh my god!
21.
21? Good lord.
Holy
shit. So, you're the only one. Everyone's like, yes, that seems perfectly like what happened. You're like, that's not fucking true. That's not how he chose you. But yeah.
Is Candelabra in the room?
Yes, he is. He's he brought you over your drinks, and after he did that, he kind of just sat awkwardly on the couch by the fireplace.
So, after Nika picks up some bullshit from that, she's gonna glance over at him and see if he has any reaction to what is being fed.
He looks like he is. I'm not even gonna have you roll because he looks like he is disassociating, and probably has been the whole time. He is just staring into the fire. like just waiting. Like he is
All
going
around
through
me are familiar faces.
Basically. Lakar, did you say you were looking it over?
Yeah, he's looking it over. He kind of has to tilt his head to the side because he can't see very well straight forward, so he has to pick one eye and use that.
He's got a horse face.
Yeah.
He does have a horse face.
Yeah, so it's basically, I'm not in, like, it's just rambling, confusing language. A lot of seemingly random capitalized words in italics and underlines and bold. Like, a few snippets of that to just kind of get the language across. This contract is herein and forthwith binding and agreed upon as the 20th day of Disrendian in the 1478th year after Zoe, whereas the contractor, being of due desire to obtain the benefit of the services of the signatories, and the signatories in their course of conduct desire to render such services forthwith and hereupon the terms and conditions set forth. Things like that.
Gotcha.
For
yeah,
that
he was
entire thing.
Specifically, he was looking for, like, just anything that would entrap them into any sort of further situations, or if it's this will actually just be a one and done, we're free to go kind of thing.
Yeah. Roll an intelligence check for me. But that I will have you roll Arcana.
Also, Trouble, I'm assuming he's holding, like, picked up this paper to look at it?
I know he like slid it across the desk. He's letting you guys have to read.
Has Lakar picked it up because he's 5 million feet tall?
Yeah.
Okay, so then as he's doing this, Trouble will also be looking at the underside of it.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Sure.
I got a 15 for the Arcana / intelligence.
Okay, beautiful. So yeah, that's you obviously don't know exactly what it is, but you get a vibe that it's probably magic in some way. You don't know if it's like the paper or something, but it's definitely, it's not really like, this is a pretty high magic world, like that's not really super concerning. It's just like, when he says binding agreement, this is a binding agreement. And you are able to glean like the gist of the agreements after really kind of scrutinizing it, buried in the legalese and repetitive rambling. And I'm just going to rattle off the main points for you. You're to deliver the Duke's parcel to Zalman Free Crest, receive the proper parcel from the aforementioned party, and then deliver said parcel to the Duke. You are to complete these tasks within 7 days starting from the last signature. And if all relevant tasks are completed before the allotted time, the contract ends with it. It goes up to 7 days, but it can end before. And you're forbidden to open, damage, scrutinize, magically manipulate, physically alter, or otherwise tamper with either of the parcels. You must be responsible and discreet in your work. Do your utmost to stay low, and do not arouse suspicion. You're forbidden to speak of or otherwise discuss any specifics of the contract with any creatures other than those in the room, as well as those alluded to in the contract. And you must complete... You must complete the aforementioned tasks by any means necessary, provided they fall under the terms of the contract. If questioned, the Duke's name or family cannot be evoked in any way. You will obey orders given by City Watch Captain Sebastian Calabra that are within reason and not immediately detrimental to your well-being. And not completing this agreement as outlined will invoke the penalties of the enchantment within the ink which this is written, which can and will cause temporary and or bodily and mental harm. And out of character, me saying this, I will let you know if you're going to do something that will break this. You're not going to get damaged because you forgot, and then you can decide from there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So Lakar is going to look to the Duke. And
yes.
Are the terms of these contract an all or nothing? As in, if one member of this group decides to deviate and break the contract, are all of us held accountable?
That would be on the individual, and he points to like a random section, which actually turns out, if you did look close, it is the relevant section where it says the individuals in the party are not responsible for the actions of the other members, as long as obviously they are not condoning it and they separate themselves immediately. But if someone does break something, you won't have to probably worry about it too much. It doesn't go into much detail about that. It just pretty much says, like, if someone breaks the contract and then immediately stops referring to them.
Oh, Jesus. They stop existing.
Trouble, what'd you get on your perception check?
My luck is back. She got a 22.
Cool. The back is blank.
Fuck. My luck is gone. It was never back.
But also, I would say Trouble and Lumen, like, as well, even just because you're more magically inclined, you do also, like, get that this is a magical thing, and it does specifically say that it has an enchantment on it.
Fair enough.
Sorry, lost my place. Yeah, so if you guys are ready to sign, he points to the bottom and the last section with 4 blanks. Sorry, I didn't write the whole contract, but I did write snippets of it, and I'm very amused by it, so let me just read the little signy thing. In witness whereof, the parties to the agreement execute this agreement as of the date and the year first above written. This agreement is made and entered into among His Grace Duke Tastin Briciani of the noble house of Briciani, the contractor, and the following collectively referred to in the agreement as the signatories. If you accept the terms as written within this contract, please sign in the spaces indicated. Your signature will acknowledge that you have read, understood, and agreed to the terms and conditions of this agreement. Contractor, I, His Grace Duke Tastin Briciani of the noble house of Briciani, accept the terms relevant to the contractor as written within this document, and with my signature affirm that I have read, understood, and agreed to the terms and conditions of this agreement. And there is a big flourish underneath, and then there's a section that says signatories with 4 of the same little statements there, with a blank to print your name and a blank to sign your name.
Trouble is still reaching for a quill. She just has this empty little claw making grabby fingers.
He hands the quill to you first, and he very specifically reaches in his desk, unlocks something, and pulls out a very small little what's the fucking word? Bottle of ink.
Inkwell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, inkwell, thank you. It's blood red and
Ooh.
like much smaller than like a normal inkwell would be. Like it's more like a vial, kind of, but he specifically hands that to you as well.
Does looking at it kind of tell me anything about if it's actually ink or if something else is going on about it?
Rolling, what would that be? Insight?
Investigation or insight? I don't know.
Yeah, you can investigation. Either one. I'll say either one.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Well, my better one. Why does she have a 4 in intimidation? Sorry.
That's right, huh?
Yeah, true.
So my investigation is a +6, so that makes that roll a 10.
Oh boy. It's the thing is, ink most of the time it's black, and this is red.
Well, that is distinct, and it is not lost on her by any means. She dips it with the quill, and her handwriting is shit. Her handwriting is shit. But like in like a charming 5-year-old kind of way. And she just scrawls out. She's not holding the quill right either. She's got it in like an ice pick grip, and she scrawls out the word trouble.
Beautiful.
And she
kind of like the dude kind of glances at it and like looks suspicious, but like just sits back.
She like has to stop like halfway through when she gets to the L, and like you can tell for like a solid 2 seconds she can't remember if it orients to the left or the right, and then she gets it right and she keeps going.
Yes. I'm so proud of her. As you do that, you honestly like barely notice it, but it just is like very in tandem with the quill touching the paper. Your chest just feels really tight for a second, and then it releases, and like it's like just that the in tandem moment is honestly the only thing that makes you notice, because it's not like a specific pain, but it's kind of odd. But who knows?
Yep. So she just kind of clicks her beak at that, like she just in a very bird-like way kind of weirdly and subtly acknowledges it, but like doesn't do much else about it. She does kind of mumble just almost under her breath, just goes, "Stop that," and then she hands the quill over to Lakar.
written in blood, is it? And he dips the quill in and signs his name as Lakar.
The Duke just smiles to himself, and the same kind of pain happens to Lakar again. Like, not just the very second it touches down. It could have just been like feeling like you were about to sneeze and it going away. Like, I would not even call it painful. Just like, ooh. Right. So he signs. Whoever's next.
Trouble waddles away and starts pecking at her cup of coffee and like doing that bird thing where she like gets her beak wet and then tilts her head vertically up so it drains into her mouth.
Oh, I love it.
Lumen can go. She also got a cup of coffee, surprisingly. And since she has 4 hands, so she walks up and she puts the cup of coffee, she's holding it between her bottom 2 hands. And then her top 2 hands, one goes to hold the paper, and the right hand goes to write in a very nice script and the little nice Lumen beetroot. And then, sets the quill down.
Nico will head up to the desk last. She's been kind of hanging back, and this may, if anyone's paying attention, this may be the least confident anyone's seen her. As a matter of fact, there's a very slight flush to her cheeks, and she's kind of looking at the, she like fixes her grip on the pen a couple of times, or the quill a couple of times, and is looking at the other signatures almost a little self-consciously, before scribbling her own name, in handwriting that's not much better than Trouble's.
Oh my god, is she illiterate?
You don't know.
She's not practiced.
The Duke kind of sits back and he claps his paws together and he grins. He has these sharp little cat teeth, and he says, I'm kind of disappointed that none of you tried to put a fake name, because it does this fucking funny thing where it just doesn't write at all, and people always, I get a kick out of it.
Trouble runs back forward and grabs the quill again.
he lets her. He seems amused.
Under where she wrote Trouble, she writes, fuck. She stops and she thinks.
She writes fuck?
No, she doesn't. No. She writes the word candelabra, but spelled extremely rudimentary. Like, it's barely recognizable as that's the word she's trying to do.
You probably misspell it as calabra.
But possibly, yes.
And he's like, wait. But yeah, as you do that, you're pressing down, like there's clearly ink in it, but it's like there's a tiny, teeny barrier not allowing you to write.
Stop that.
And that actually lets you glean that it's probably an enchantment in the ink. That it is. I am very glad we have come to an agreement. You folks, you have been a breeze. And if you think about it, you 4 are not only going to be entirely free after completing 2 very simple tasks, but you're also going to get gold out of the deal. Not too bad when you think about it like that, eh? And he stands up and he stretches. He pulls out a pocket watch and he says, well, I can tell you this much. I know for a fact Freecrest is not here this evening, so I recommend you get yourselves a nice room for the night. You could all certainly use a shower. Calabra, why don't you take them somewhere nice? Well, not too nice. It would have to be in the outer city, of course. He chuckles to himself and he starts to rummage in his pocket. You know what? My treat. And he pulls out a handful of gold coins and holds them out to the captain. And he says, set them up for the entire week. No need to thank me. And the captain takes the gold and he bows. Of course, Your Grace. Thank you very much. The Duke picks up the wrapped parcel and holds it out. Whoever would like to take it.
Trouble!
Love it. He looks like a little reluctant, but he lets her have it.
Listen, he hired her. This is on him. She takes it.
Oh my god. Well, run along now. I will be seeing you before the week's end. I hope, for your sakes. Good night. And he escorts you to the study door. The natural light that had filled the breathtakingly gaudy entryway has faded considerably, but you are able to take in gold frame portraits lining the walls, the slippery-looking spiral marble staircase, and the crystalline chandeliers hanging so high above that are not really doing much for the lighting. And before you know it, you're outside again, the door slamming and locking behind you.
Good morning.
It's dark now.
Is there any way before this happens, I wanted to do one thing before we left
Absolutely.
that room?
Yes.
Okay, so I imagine that since Lumen has slippers, she took off the slippers and was just shuffling around on this beautiful carpet barefoot. Right before we left, is there any way when she sits on the ground to slide her slippers back, I can try and sleight of hand a thread from this carpet?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Roll for me, please.
Little carpet
Okay,
bush.
that's a 16.
16. Yeah, honestly, there's a conveniently located, just a little loose thread, and you are a little worried that it's gonna unravel a lot, but it actually just a good amount comes out, an inch or two. Doesn't look disturbed, and you have a piece of that carpet.
Can I roll to see if Trouble sees her do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll perception.
All right,
I was actually just about to ask, how do you run passive perception and passive insight?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is one of the things that I often forget about. Actually, I will say, let's go with your passive perception on that. Let's. What's everyone's passive perception?
Well, minus 17. I rolled a 19 also, so just for the record.
So you notice. You notice. Lakara and Nika, what are your passive perceptions?
A 19 without modifiers.
Yeah.
14.
14.
My
passive is 19.
19. You for sure notice 14. Maybe you would notice at the back end of it, but not really. You're why was she on the floor for so long? But you don't really process what it was.
Right.
Did you do anything in response to that, or was that just for your knowledge? Gotcha.
Just being a nosy neighbor.
Love it. Stick your beak in where it doesn't belong.
Wait.
Yeah.
When we were
it's
served drinks,
in my hand.
when
I
we were
have not
served-
eaten it yet.
Oh yeah.
do we get to take the drinks with us?
They're in nice mugs, and if you're going to the door with it, yeah. I'm gonna say if you're going to the door with it, you would be not kind of just he would stand in your way and kind of hold out his hand.
Trouble quickly tries to drink as much as she can. But eventually we'll hand it over and leave you.
You know what, actually. Roll I know it's not you might not actively be doing it, but roll a persuasion check. See how this is a cute check, honestly.
A cute check? Sure. Oh shit, I'm not very cute. 13?
Oh, yeah, no, he just keeps his hand out.
Oh, heartless bastard.
Your way.
Then she makes a point of taking, an obnoxiously long time to drink her fill, and then hands it over.
Yep, he takes it. He makes sure he is. After that, if any of you are planning on sneaking it, he's not letting you. He collects his mugs. So before you know it, you are outside again, the door slamming and locking behind you. It's dark now, but the surrounding homes are mostly illuminated, and the road is lined by magically fueled lamps. And it's summer dark, if you know what I mean. Not winter dark. you can see in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Glabra stands there for a moment, scanning the area, and then he inclines his head towards the closed door, listening for a second, and then he turns to you and he says, "Okay, I know just the inn for you, so follow me, and I'm not going to cuff you again, but I have to ask for you please to have some trust in me before we get to the inn where things can be explained to you a bit more clearly. And yes, I am going to give you your items back as promised, but I do not want to spend any more time here than is necessary, so I am just going to give you back your clothes to cover the jumpsuits. You'll still be out of place, but at least not so obviously from the prison. Let's leave this part of the city first, and then I will distribute your other belongings, alright?" And he quickly reaches into the satchel and pulls a heaping bundle of fabric. To Lumen, it looks like he just pulled a freshly baked pie out of the bag, but it is just a bundle of your clothes, that the clothes that you wore on your intake day, and he kind of just awkwardly hands it out and just waits as you pull it on, like, over your jumpsuits.
Just to be clear, the, like, manacles and stuff that were presumably presenting spellcasting before, we're not wearing those anymore, right?
We're not wearing those anymore.
As soon as he starts talking about, like, still using some sort of disguise, mask of many faces to look like candelabra. Granted, a short candelabra.
He looks at you for a second and he says, quite talented, this one, aren't you?
You're
Very
trouble,
neat trick.
aren't you?
That's one word for it.
It should be noted, Lakar still is not wearing a jumpsuit. He was just walking around naked.
He's been butt naked this whole time. I love him so much.
Yep, but he just...
when Lakar came in, he was probably just wearing, like, a sarong, right?
Yeah.
He is, are you going to, like, tie your sarong on over your jumpsuit, or are you just...
No, he's not wearing a jumpsuit.
Oh, right, he's not, you're right.
Yeah.
He does,
He's been naked.
Captain Calabra looks at you for a second. He looks like he's really, really thinking about how to deal with this situation. And after a moment, he just starts walking. He just gave up on figuring that out and is just hoping for the best.
Lakar had that entire conversation with the Duke butt naked.
Love it.
Big
Love
dick
it.
energy.
Yep. Honestly.
But now
he just can't.
Yeah. Yep, he just picks up his sarong and ties it around his waist, and he's good.
Love it.
So as, like, Calabra's walking, there's a mini Calabra hopping behind him, but, like, making really weird motions because even though the Mask of Many Faces kind of disguises a bit of what she's doing, she is, as she's hopping, dressing back into her clothes, but also looking like a tiny Calabra.
This is my son. He's troubled. Troubled. God, I'm funny.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Alright, so you start back up the path that you took on your way in, and you approach the same gates that you entered through, the captain walking confidently a foot or so in front of you, and by the looks of it, there was a shift change since you came in, as there's an entirely different set of guards on duty, but they still have the near-identical reactions to Captain Calabra as he passes, fawning greetings, unsuccessful attempts to engage or impress him, and he just gives several curt nods and forced pleasantries in return. And then the attention shifts to you four, and the mood shifts drastically as smiles turn to snarls. And immediately, the captain goes, "They're cleared." And he, one of the guards, like, opened their mouths to clearly just say some shit, and he says, "The dealings of the nobility and the company that keep are none of your concern. Good night." He snaps his fingers impatiently, and one of the guards reluctantly opens the gates. And you're greeted by the oddly comforting sight of the peasant part of the city. Let me get you back. We're moving. Woo! Fuck.
Every time that map comes up and I see Dunboss Bay, my brain goes, Dumbass Bay!
Dude, when I was looking at it, I was like, someone's gonna make the joke Girl Boss Bay. I was like, well, I guess it's me.
Be the change you wish to see in the world.
Honestly. Alrighty. Mood. Alright. Where was I? Yeah, you're greeted by the oddly comforting sight of the peasant part of the city, though the citadel that looms large above you and the glaring gate guards at your back keep you on edge. And Captain Calabra continues straight ahead down Notting Send Road and passing between the citadel and the block of markets that you had passed just an hour earlier, which are now pretty much entirely closed up for the night. So you're going. He kind of like half turns over his shoulder to talk to you, but while still continuing, he says, "We are going to take some shortcuts. The inn is not far at all, just on the outskirts of the neighborhood, but I want to get there as soon as possible. We're all safest there. Let us get past the Citadel's eye line before I give your things back, okay? I'm gonna have you all roll an insight check."
Oh my god. It's really a good thing we're not, like, doing anything, like, really cataclysmic in this first session.
Yet.
That's a 7. with modifiers.
All right.
Go to your first.
Oh, I said 10.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Yep, 10, 7,
17?
17.
24.
Oh, Jesus. 17, 24, and,
here.
yeah.
Can you
And
tell
honestly,
me the
even
min-maxers
10, even 10, the captain is like, he's unflappable. There's a, like, noticeable shift in energy, not, like, drastic, but he's like weirdly, he's a weird mixture of excited and also nervous. Not like in a weird, like, dastardly way, but like, it's like a very genuine emotion after his, like, very forced, puffed up, like, seriousness, and it's kind of like, it's interesting.
So like the demeanor that like a pangolin kind of emits? Like that nervous, asking someone to prom type of, like, posture?
Oh, I know why do I know exactly what you mean? Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Exactly that. Yeah, he quickly takes a left off the main road into an alleyway behind the Citadel. Doop. God, that line. Behind the Citadel, between an empty stable and a closed brewery. The alley's empty, though that's not a huge surprise. This part of the neighborhood closes pretty early, and any homeless people prefer to set up in one of the established slums, or at least in an alley not so next to a military building. Sandier Park comes up on your right, and you can see a handful of people loitering across the grassy, unkempt area. That's not at all unusual, but Captain Calabra stops in his tracks so suddenly that you almost run into him. And as he does, let's have everyone roll a perception check. Let's roll.
I'm gonna assume that Trouble does actually kind of bump into his back because she's been up his ass.
Probably, honestly, probably.
Before I roll this perception check, I have to ask if there's any bright lights near.
No, this is like, kind of, like, there are lanterns and stuff, but they're all, like, very hooded. Like, it's light enough that even if they weren't there, you'd be able to see, but it is getting darker by the minute. It's definitely nothing glaring.
Yeah, my rolls are not great right now. I rolled a 10.
10.
16?
16?
23.
23.
23.
Hey!
23. Ooh.
I think that's the highest perception roll I have ever made.
Well, you're used
Sorry,
to
what was
playing
the first
TL.
roll again? What was the first roll again? My mind, like,
10.
threw it out. 10, thank you. Okay, so yeah, everyone but you. Was that the lowest one? I'm so sorry. Those numbers went right through my head.
Yeah, I think that was the lowest
Correct,
one.
yes.
Okay, yeah. Everyone but you notices that in the far corner of the park, you definitely can't make out distinguishing characteristics, especially because it is rather dim, but you can for sure tell that there are 4 people, and you're presuming are guards because of their robes. But yeah, far enough away, and you also see they are, like, turning in your direction. And as they do that, Captain Glabra continues forward, then takes a sharp turn to another alley away from the park. And he's going. Oh, not there. Pretend that line wasn't made. It was here. And this particular alley was clearly not meant to be a footpath like the one you were just on was. There's only a few feet of space separating the 2 buildings you're currently hurrying between. Like, if Lakar spread his arms, he could touch either side, like, easily. Maybe even not even have his arms fully stretched. So you're kind of just in a single file line. There are very few lights to help you see the way, though the sky's still not completely dark thanks to the days of the season. And the back end of a temple lies at the end of the path, which then splits off to the left and the right. And the captain hangs a quick right, then slows to a stop. And he kind of leans against the side of the temple as he catches his breath. And he says, "Let's do this very quickly. We're only a few minutes away." And he grabs the satchel and he starts rummaging through, but then he, like, loses his patience and he literally just turns it upside down and a massive pile of items falls out, easily quadruple the size of the bag itself. And he kind of gestures and says, come on, quickly, please.
Trouble makes a beeline for her amulet if she can see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It might take a second of digging, but all your items are there and accounted for.
Yep, Lakar grabs up his weapons and his he actually bends down and grabs what looks like a sending stone.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, Luma just goes.
Yeah, I assume everyone's picking up their stuff.
Yeah.
Mika has she hasn't changed out of her jumpsuit yet, but now that she has everything, she'll start equipping her armor. She's trying to like I'm a dude, I don't know how to describe this. She's trying to do the whole like put the bra on while you're still wearing the shirt thing.
It's possible. I believe in her.
Oh yeah, she got it. She got it.
As she's like starting to do that, she'll stop and turn and glare at the car until he looks away.
The captain immediately looks away, like full respect.
Lakar doesn't seem to understand what she's trying to convey.
He's like, yes, eye contact, right? You want eye contact right now?
Like he raises an eyebrow at her and he just kind of smirks and tilts his head. Yes.
Yeah, so he
continues
waits for y'all
and
to get ready.
she'll
He waits,
up.
but he's clearly impatient. All right. Let's go. Just a few more blocks, and then, sort of in the distance, you hear, "To where?" And then just then, 4 city watch guards round the corner, at the end of the alley. It's pretty dim, but by the look on the captain's face, you figure that these are the ones that were in the park just a moment earlier. And the group continues forward, shoulder to shoulder, in such a way that if they were like 2 inches wider, they would be wedged between the buildings. The 2 tallest, a bald human man and a green dragonborn man, are on the outside, with a scrawny human man and a lithe female half-elf between them. And the same voice that you just heard comes from the bald man, the tall bald man. He says, Well, if it isn't our honorable Captain Calabra. And the captain stiffens at those words, and he takes a slight sidestep forward, so he's like, he was already in front of you all, but he's more in front of you all. And the guards stop just a few feet away, and they're all glowering. Who are these? The bald man kind of waves your hands in your group general direction. New recruits, not that you have any right to so openly question your superiors, Sergeant. The captain says, through gritted teeth, and the sergeant eyes the 4 of you with raised eyebrows, and then he grins. And you see from the captain's face that he just remembered that you are no longer looking like soldiers. He had momentarily forgotten that. And so the bald man says, New recruits, eh? He smirks and he eyes the entourage. Sounds like another word for expendable to me, no? I imagine you're all a little group of treasoners, am I right? Or are you working alone, my good captain? I imagine it's hard to maintain your star citizen persona with too many others, knowing it's bullshit. And Captain Calabra goes, and he takes a step forward. Step aside, Pascaline. Have your little crew of constables do the same. Whatever this fantasy is, it should be settled another time, without all these theatrics. And Sergeant Pascaline mirrors his step forward and he says, I'm afraid I can't let you do that. I've sworn oath to the city, and unfortunately for you, that means taking out any traitor who crosses my path. And with that, they all draw their weapons, and I need you all to roll initiative.
Hell yeah!
Here we go.
Yes.
Alright, this is gonna be more of a setup, probably, because I don't know how to do this, but I can move y'all over. Fuck, the music is fucked. Fuck. I keep doing that. Okay, so I imagine I go into encounters. I'm gonna need your help, Daarka.
Yeah, okay, so I'm assuming every token on the map is in combat initiative, right?
Yes, actually, let me just move.
Shit.
No, that's a fine, setup. Is the view fucked?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Fine by me.
Oh shit, every time someone moves, it like snaps me in. I need to figure out why it's doing that. Hang on. It doesn't do that in anything else, so. Let's see if that helps.
Yeah, it has. Oh, no. I think you just turned it off.
Yeah, I did.
That's definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
That's weird. It doesn't do that when I use it in my other game. Anyways,
Yeah, that's super weird.
There.
Yeah, so I made the oh my god! How did that happen?
I click and dragged to select all the tokens, and then I right-clicked one of them and did the start combat or whatever.
Amazing. So I am going to, if I click the D20, oh yeah, roll initiative.
You can do
smart.
that. You can also, for the PCs and stuff, you can right-click, you can right-click them on the turn initiative and click update combatant, and then put in their initiative in there. I will just put in troubles and tickles.
All right.
And I'm gonna assume tickles.
I'm just gonna do it here, make it easier. Yeah, tickle goes on the same turn, I believe.
Okay.
At this point.
These rolls are public. Is that intended?
I don't know. Oh, did I just roll yours? I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry.
No, I rolled my own.
Okay. Fuck, I'm stressed.
It's okay.
I think it's the music that's stressing me out. Let me turn it down. I'm like, oh my god, why do I feel so frantic? Yeah, that might help. There we go. I can hear myself think. No.
Why does it say 18.14?
Right? Like, I'm so confused.
I don't know. Hang on. I can potentially... Oops, fuck, I removed him. Oh no!
Oh god, you killed him.
I killed him! This is how I do combat. I delete the NPCs.
I mean, that's one way. Yeah, why are there like decimals? I'm so stressed.
Hang on, it's okay. This is weird, but I can, if you go to the update combatant thing by right-clicking it, you can just overrule it and make it not stupid.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because it's stressing me out. So let me just roll real quick. Oh,
there
wow.
We go. I took all the decimals off. Why are there... Why are there two? I'm gonna just move Tickle off the map for now.
Why are some of them crossed out?
Because they've already technically gone, I believe. They get crossed out when their turn is passed.
Oh.
But we haven't begun the combat yet, so I don't really know why it's doing that.
Okay, let me just put in the other guards' things real quick, and then we'll see what happens there.
Nicole, did you roll?
I rolled in person. I don't know how to adjust that.
Oh, it's fine. I think the DM has to. What'd you roll? I can put it in.
I rolled a 12.
12? Okay.
Ooh.
And what did Nika get?
9.
Did I get everyone? I believe so. Okay, yeah, see, but, yeah, because the captain got a 20 and he's crossed out. So...
when you begin combat, I think it'll start over, but I think I'm trying to figure out which guard I accidentally deleted. Hang on.
Hang on, I'll know. I gave them all
I got
names.
him. He's in there.
Alright, beautiful. Does he have an initiative? Let me give him one.
He does now. Why did he get a decimal initiative? That's stupid. There we go. Fixed.
There we go.
Okay.
Alright. How do I start it? I thought I had already
Begin
done
combat is the button at the bottom.
Am I blind?
It's under the, you might have everything popped out weird. Here. There you go.
Yeah, I definitely do. So that helps. No, what are you doing? Wait.
I started
Oh, wait,
it.
no. I have a module that pops up like the character sheets, and I'm like, no, I don't want you to see that. But
no, it's okay. It's okay. That's just yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So appropriately, the captain goes first. He is going to, he draws his long sword, and he is going to actually, you know what? He doesn't draw his long sword. He is going to cast. God, I hate that I went first because now you're like, damn, this bitch is slow. Alright. He's going to cast Disarm on the main guy, Pascalin. So he's gonna do that. So let him roll. Oh no, Pascalin has to do a strength saving throw with advantage. He certainly does not make it. Embarrassing for him. So you see the captain kind of hold out his hand, which glows very faintly as he extends it towards Pascaline, and for a second nothing happens, but then like pretty comically Pascaline like fumbles his I forget what fucking weapon he has. I think he has a sword. Yeah, he fumbles his sword and it like clatters to the ground and he looks real pissed. And so that's his action. For his movement, he is gonna... I'm literally drawing on the thing.
Yeah, you gotta use the top basic controls.
There
yeah,
we go.
You got it.
He's gonna just kind of get a little closer. And I don't think he has any bonus actions, so... Yeah, that's gonna be it for him. Do I, like, end his turn somehow?
So on the right thing, you should...
Yeah, let me make this window full size. I think that will help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there should be
there
a right arrow at the bottom that progresses it. There you go.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see.
Sorry, this seems like cheating, but I wanted them to be a little bit closer. I'm just gonna casually move them. They're here.
20, 25, 30, so I'm still... I am not close enough to attack. Let's see. I'm sorry, this is my first time playing a barbarian.
It's okay.
Trying to figure out what
Don't
the crap
you
I'm doing.
worry.
So as far as held actions, can I move and then hold my action until someone moves range?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he's going to move up here.
I believe you also have 40 feet of movement as a barbarian.
I have what?
You should have 40 feet.
Oh yeah, that's actually that we ended up switching some of the features around. Yeah, no, totally fine.
Right.
That's next level for him.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can get my water breathing and other natural shit. Alright, so he's running forward, and he is going to brandish his glaive and take up a stance next to Sebastian. And just going to hold his action until someone comes within range, and then he will attack.
Love it. Alright.
Also, you could range for bonus action. I don't know how you are doing, but just barbarian stuff.
Well, the rage ends early if you are knocked unconscious or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature, so...
Or
like, just in case no one actually... Yeah.
Or someone could attack you, but yeah.
Or taken damage since then, so yeah. I mean, there is a chance that they could just be like, no, fuck you, I'm not attacking you or coming close, but, you know.
They're actually pacifist.
Yeah.
This is a question for Daarka. Do I have to, like, physically end the turns each time?
Yeah, you have to progress them with that arrow.
Yeah, just checking. Alrighty.
Sorry, there we go.
Problem. Alright, so that is going to be one of the constables. She is going to... What do you even fucking do, girl?
Also, I don't know why there's 2 turn markers. It must have bugged out, so please forgive the one.
Yeah, that's fine. The Dragonborn's just always going. It's his legendary action.
Shit.
She's gonna move on. Actually, no, she's probably pretty freaked out by Lakar. But she doesn't really have much of a choice. She has to kind of suck it up. So she's gonna go up to him. And she is going to actually... No, never mind. She's not that stupid. Some of them, maybe, but not her. And she is going to do a little swingy swing with her... what the fuck is that, a great axe? She has a javelin and a great axe? I'm going to say she has her great axe because... She has both. She is going to attack Lakar. So, where the fuck is my thing? Here it is. Attack with the great axe. Oh, she gets 2 attacks. How fun. Alright, she's going to roll. I don't think that one hits. That's a 13.
It's not hit.
It's not. Oh my god, what just
Sorry,
happened?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. No, it's okay. It scared me.
I was like, I couldn't figure out if the music was actually playing or not because I couldn't hear it. And then I was like, oh, it is playing. It's just really quiet. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. She misses. She whiffs pretty bad, but she goes for it again with her second attack, which is, much better. That is a 23.
Doesn't hit. No, it
does not hit. Wow. She just sits on the ground and cries. So she is gonna do, great axes. Jesus Lord. Okay. She deals not great damage. She deals 7 slashing damage to you, Lakar, with her great axe.
Boop. Boundary VTT tab has not been activated. You son of a...
Oh, are we doing this again?
Darka and I just fixed this 2 minutes before game.
So,
oh boy,
that's weird. Did you click? When you refreshed? Did you click the extension again to like turn it on?
No, but I'll just do it in the stupid bar thing here. No,
but like you have
47.
Okay, but like you have to. Yeah, so in your Chrome tab, like you have to click the extension every time you enter the page or reload, so that it like turns it on, and you can tell if it's been turned on because if you're on the chat tab of the sidebar, there will be a red D20 with a B in it right above the text entry box, and if it's not there, then it's not turned on.
But it's always there. That's the thing.
Then
it's never not there. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
I'll just use the bar thing. So that's good.
Okay.
So that should trigger my held action then.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, he is going to swing at her with his glaive.
Absolutely, he is.
And that is a 12 plus 8, so that's a dirty 20.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So 1d10 plus 5. That's max damage 15.
Nice.
Ooh, baby. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, she stumbles back. She's a small woman. She stumbles back like considerably, and you got a good slash on her. That was 15 damage. Sorry, fuck. These names are fucked. Update combatant. Fuck. The NPCs just having not actual character sheets is difficult. Okay. What's 39 minus 15? Here's her amount of hit points.
24.
Math stresses me out. Thank you. Alright. Next. Wait, what the fuck? Didn't she just go? Oh yeah. God. Okay, Lumen.
Alright, so this happens very suddenly, and her armor is just snapped into place, and she has this rapier that she's holding with both of her right hands, and then she has a little buckler shield that she's holding with one of her left hands. And seeing this, she says, well, this isn't ideal, but I'll have to make do. And then she kind of like flutters and hops kind of into position. Actually, I forgot. She's going to cast something before she moves. So kind of she's moving up.
Yeah.
She kind of, with her spare left hand, kind of shuffles, and she kind of it dramatically throws out a pinch of like glitter that kind of spirals forth and lands behind the guards, and she says something like, "I've been missing the light, so let's try and put on a show," and it just explodes into this like spiraling explosion of fireworks that she's like, "Wow!" As I'm casting pyrotechnics behind those guys. So all of I'm doing it because it's a like 5-foot area, but then everyone within 10 feet has to do it, and I'm doing it so it targets all the enemies. You all have to make a con save.
Con save, alrighty. Let's do that. Alright. First boy. What's the DC, sorry?
14.
14. So the main guy, Pascaline, he is fine. Second, natural 1 for our little dragonborn friend. And 9 plus something. Nope. The other dude also fails, but the half elf gets an 18. She succeeds. So Dragonborn and the other scrawny human man fail. So what happens?
Cool. So they're blinded until the end of my next turn.
Beautiful. So yeah, Dragonborn boy. Let's see. Sign status effects. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, I think I did it. Is this him?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Alright, they be blinded. Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's just this like spiraling explosion of like pink, yellow, orange little fireworks that just like go off with like the whining little pops as well, like and then those go off as she kind of shuffles as close as she can the rest of her turn.
Beautiful. All right. So let's move to one of our blind boys. He's blind. I believe that, what's that? Just disadvantage? Obviously, you can't see. Yeah, should be disadvantage on stuff. All right, cool. So, that's pretty stressful for him. He's gonna. Let me. How does your thing work? I think he's like pretty shocked by that. So he's going to kind of, without really even lining it up, he's gonna let loose a breath weapon to just everyone in that just directly in front of where he is right now. It's a 15-foot cone. Let me see if I'm doing this right. Hell yeah!
I beat you to it. Sorry, I didn't realize you were doing it.
Look at our almost. Wow, that only hits 2 people. He was really thinking that would be like, just like knocking it over, but so he's gonna do that. How the fuck do you roll for that? Where am I? So that's a. Oops, sorry. What fucking save is that? Where am I? I think, okay, I think that's a dex save. Yes, dex save. Let me see. Yeah, so I need Lakar and one of his fellow guards to roll a dex save. Dragon on dragon violence.
Let's see, is my advantage on dex only when I'm raging? Or is that?
I believe so, yes.
Danger sense? I think that's all the time. It's just something you can see.
Is it? Oh, yeah, but let me, hang on.
Also, I think that guard that's stuck in the cone is Calabra. I don't think that's one of his guys.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the other fucking dude? Are they on top of each other? Is that what's happening? Hang on. Because they're supposed to be. Oh yeah, sorry. The guy whose turn it is who has the thing. The other guy is covered by it. So yeah, you're right. It is clever. Let me re-roll that.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh,
Danger
natural
sense
20.
Ooh.
Yeah, danger sense. Let me see. Any sense.
You have advantage on dex saving throws against effects that you can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Oh, beautiful. Then yeah, advantage.
All right. 19, that's a dirty 20.
Beautiful. You both are like hardcore, full on like hit by this poison breath, but it's kind of the guy's kind of panicking, so he like moves his head in such a way that it gets kind of dispersed, and it like just doesn't do what he wanted it to do. You do get, you take half damage, so 1d6 damage each of you. But let's see. Doop. You take 3 points of poison damage.
Yep.
All right.
Oh hey. I just entered it into my D&D Beyond sheet, and it actually transferred over this time.
Hey!
Oh, good.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. All right. So that I'm going to say also for this dude's turn, he kind of panicked, and when like letting loose his breath weapon, he kind of like goes back a little bit, just like very distressed. Can I delete these?
Yes.
There we go. Alrighty. That is the end of his turn. So that is going to be Nika.
Okay. Nika is going to rush forward up this direction and sort of flank Calabra.
Beautiful.
And as she's running forward, she's drawing her great axe.
Love it.
Which has these. It's a double-headed axe or double-bladed axe with two. The blades aren't made of metal. They're these two bright teal crystalline, just like sharp, razor sharp looking pieces of jasper. And she's going to ready an action, and as soon as someone comes within range, she's going to attack.
Beautiful. All right. So that's it for now until that. All right. So
actually,
we got Tickle.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I totally forgot I'm a rogue. I'm going to dash as a bonus action.
Yes.
Sorry.
I think you should be
new to this.
I think. There we go. Beautiful.
Cunning action. Sweet. Okay. So I'll rush up here and I will attack this guard right here.
All right.
Plus what do I have on this? Plus 6, 12 to hit.
That misses.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, he kind of like just backs away in time, and he glares at you, and the light from the lantern, it bounces off his bald head beautifully. And so is that your turn?
Yep.
All right. Tickle time.
Tickle is not present right now. So
Tickle's not present. Well, I wanted it to be Tickle time.
I'm so sorry. It is not
Trouble
Tickle time.
time.
It's Trouble time. Trouble sees all this happen, and she, like, again, hard to discern humanoid emotion, even if you were looking at her in all this chaos. But it is really clear in her body language that she is suddenly fucking hyped. Like, she's been cooped up for 3 months, and we're doing shit now. And so she just delightedly goes, "Let's make this fun!" And then she jolts forward as about up to, let's see, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, wait, hang on. What's my speed? 30. Okay, so she can go one more. Boop. And no, she's gonna go over here. And she's going to the one that is next to Lakar. She's going to fire off an Eldritch Blast, like a classic wizard that she is.
Yeah. Classic wizard move.
Classic wizard move. And that is, let's see, to hit.
Gonna use a itty bitty little dice.
Natural 20.
That hits.
I'm back.
And bad. That hit.
It's actually a total of 27 after the modifier.
Oh no, that misses.
Oh, okay, darn. So,
yeah, let's crit on her.
Remind me just briefly, because I know you told me, but what are the crit rules?
Oh, oh yeah. Double the dice.
Double the dice. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. 7 points of what is it? Force damage.
Yes. Force damage.
Yeah, force damage. 7 points of force damage, and it looks a little something like.
Ooh. Hell yeah.
But narratively speaking, it doesn't quite resemble that. It actually looks like this very like cherry red orange energy that streams out in an almost like flat surface that spirals like a ribbon trailing through the air, and it just like splashes onto him in a way that almost looks pleasant, except it clearly hurt him.
Oh, I love it. That is beautiful.
And that's her turn.
All right. Let's see. All right, so the guy who fucking started the shit at the almost ass end of the initiative finally goes. Pascaline is going. He's going for Calabra. He's going right. Look at these boys. They're gonna kiss. Okay, yeah. He gets a multi-attack. Oh yeah, fucking veteran thing. Okay, yeah. He gets a multi-attack with his longsword, and he's gonna go for him on both of them. So let us see. Who? First one just hits, and second one does not. So he gets one hit in on Calabra. What is the damage? I have too many tabs open. Okay. So yeah, and he does that with two hands, so that's gonna be a versatile boy. One of these. Woo! That was not good. He deals a solid 4 points of damage to him. 6, 5, 4, 3. I know how to do math. Don't worry about it. Shit, why isn't this... Sorry, hang on. Now it's telling me my thing isn't sunk. What do I have to do? Do I have to go to the extension?
For what? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Beyond 20. It wasn't.
To do what?
Because I have his character sheet in D&D Beyond.
Right. So you want to click on the Beyond 20 thing if you're using Chrome to activate it, but you also need to do the settings that I think I put them in the general chat here. Yeah. So as long as those are all squared away, it should work. Also, their name has to be identical to what it is on both Foundry and D&D Beyond.
Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Sorry, let me just get this situated. 83. Okay. Good. That was probably why I put a little captain in his name. He does not. There we go. Alright. So that was him. He only moved a little bit. I think he wants to stay there, though. He wants to be right in his face. So I don't think he can do anything else. I think that is his very sad turn. Let me just check. Yeah. Okay, that ends his turn, and then the last guard. Ooh, this guy's fun. He's going to... the scrawny, other human guy, he kind of is obviously a very awkward boy, but he is going to the only thing he has with him, weirdly, for a guard is a quarterstaff, and he kind of just grips it very tightly, and he looks at Nika, and he's going to cast... He is! Thank you. God, that's a very small little crossed out eye. He's blind. So he is going to... Ooh. No, that's fucked.
Echolocate.
Yeah. He's going to... What the fuck does that do again? Sorry? Okay, nope, that won't work. He has to see. I think he's just gonna panic a little. He's gonna kind of, because he knows that there's a wall very close to him, so he's gonna kind of just, like, sidestep back and, like, cling desperately to the wall and take another step back. And then he is going to cast... How does that work? I think... Sorry.
You're fine.
Does that... That's only a reaction. Okay.
Trust me, Abby, you're doing wonderful.
You are.
Oh, he can't do anything. The blindness, like, really fucked him. He has to see everything. So he's gonna cling to the wall, and that's gonna be his turn.
Bonus action cry.
So we're gonna be, yeah, literally. So yep, that's his turn, and we are back up to our good friend, the captain. He is going to. Well, he's got the dude right in his face, so he's gonna keep going for that. These two are just duking it out with everyone else around them. He's gonna... Let me go to this thing.
You do flanking rules?
I do, but I always forget them. What is that, advantage or?
Yeah, if we are on opposites, it would be advantage.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. He appreciates that. Oh, love this, because he is right up in his face. Calabra's a spellcaster, but he's gonna do melee that he's comfortable with. He's gonna cast the cantrip Stone Fist. You see him hold up a fist, and it glows very, very slightly, and you see, it's hard to see, it's dim, but it, like, turns gray and rocky, and then he just fucking slugs the guy in front of him. And so he is going to make a spell attack on him. Ooh, hell yeah. Oh, wait, shit. I forgot he gets more. Alright, cool. That hits. And that is... What fucking level are you, dude? 3d8. Alright. Ooh, baby. That was a mean punch. 7, 6, 2, 8, 7, 15 points of damage for that. That's an action. Cool. Yeah, so he like slugs him full on in the jaw. The guy like hit in the face with a literal rock, so he's looking about equivalent to how that would be. So that's gonna be 4. Shit. What number did I just say he did?
2 or 3.
I think it's 15.
Oh wait, sorry, no.
Yeah. Oh wait, I still have them. No, I still have them. I still have them facing up. That was 14. Oh my god, my brain just stopped working. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
15, yeah. 15. Oh, he has a...
Oh.
Plus something.
His health bar just got very sad.
Oh yeah, because I didn't finish writing the number in.
Oh.
But then he gets a +2, so that is going to be 58 minus 17 is a number.
41.
Thank you so much.
Damn, calculator boy.
Right. You are
Addition and
very
subtraction
helpful.
I can do very quickly.
God, I wish that were me. So he slugs him, and then he is going to... boy, like, what can you do that's fun? I know you're fun.
Do a little dance.
Yeah.
That's fun.
What are your... balls. Balls. Okay, so he's... Is this a bonus action? Yes. Okay, he's going to, for his bonus action...
There he is.
Matt.
Oh no.
There he is.
Were you cursed with the silence again?
No, my laptop died on me. I just lost all my notes.
Oh god.
Rip.
Yeah, for his bonus action, he's gonna kind of glance over his shoulder to Trouble, and he is going to... Yeah, he's going to use one of his little features. He's gonna grant you a stone... God, I don't even know how to say this word. Aegis? Sure.
Oh,
So a dim, like, gray aura kind of surrounds Trouble. And so for 1 minute, any bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage that she takes is reduced by 2. Here's this equation. 2 plus your sorcerer level divided by 4. Let's do that real quick.
Hang on. Alright. What is my sorcerer level?
No, that's his.
Oh, okay.
So 3. Let's say 3. It's reduced by 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so for 1 minute you have this gray aura, and, oh no, that's something else. Okay, yeah, so that's it. That is going to be his turn. The car.
So Lakar is going to let out this bellowing roar, and he is going to go into a full rage.
Yeah,
as he does,
is.
It seems like storm clouds start swirling around him, and lightning charges the air.
Yes.
The kind of finned crest on his head flares out, kind of like how some lizards will do, like as a threat display. And he is going to swing at the same person he hit before. And he is going to try to hit her with his glaive.
And
that is an 18 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Okay. So I get +2 melee damage since I'm raging.
Beautiful.
That's... God damn, I love this D10. It gave me max damage again.
Yes.
So that's 17 damage. And then another person within 10 feet. Can I hit this guy here? The one that you guys are facing off against?
For
He
sure.
gets struck with lightning. So he needs to make a DC save of 13.
All right. What thingy? The ability.
Dex, sorry.
Dex. Right. Ooh, a natural 1.
Yikes.
Awesome. So he takes 1d6 damage, which is it's just a 1. So he gets zapped with a bit of lightning damage.
he gets a static shock, but it bothers him. Sorry, the first attack was 15?
Yes.
All right.
There's 17, I'm sorry, because it's 2 extra melee damage.
17? Cool.
Yes.
You knock that girl the fuck out.
Excellent.
Let me... Yeah. You got 0, baby. You gone. And then a little static shock to our boy over here. Cool. Alright, love it.
That's my turn.
That's your turn. Beautiful. She cannot go on the fact that she is unconscious. What do I do? Remove her?
So if you click the, you can remove her or you can hit the skull and it'll mark her as dead. She doesn't have to actually be dead, but like, it'll take her out of the turn order basically and skip her.
Cool. Alright, so that is going to be Lumen.
Alrighty then, let's see, who...
Yeehaw.
Did you just say yeehaw at me?
I did.
Actually, right now, since my turn is starting, it would be giddy up, but...
You're so right, I am so sorry, it won't happen again.
Alright, I think she's gonna move to attack, the guy Nika was kind of pounding on, I think.
Cool.
So like, it looks like, you know, Nika and Calabra, like, have a handle on all of this little fluttering moth just kind of joints up to the side. And she kind of goes like, "Wha-pow!" And so I'm going to. I don't think counts as flanking rules because there's no one directly across from me.
I don't know. Honestly, sure. You know what? No, I'm really. Yeah, you get flanking advantage.
Because other people are flanking her.
He is fucking surrounded. You get flanking.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna roll my 2 hits. The lowest is a 14 to hit.
That misses.
Okay, then the other one is 21.
21 hits.
Well, I rolled a 1 on my damage. So that's only 8 damage.
That's, for a 1, that's pretty good. Alright.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, so you give him a little slishy slash, and he wants to like stagger back, but there's like barrels behind him, so he's kind of just awkwardly against the barrels.
Yeah, I go right for behind the knees.
Beautiful. Love that. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Alright. The Dragonborn is gonna go. He's gonna... how long does the blindness last?
It could be over now.
It just ended.
It just ended. Beautiful. Alright. Let's take that off. And... Cool. So he can see, and he's not very happy. He is going to... The last thing he saw before he could no longer see was that it was you that made him not able to see. So he is going to go right on up to you, my friend, and he is going to...
I'm just
Hello, me! He is going to do both his attacks on you with his short sword. Alright. Let's see. Double 4s. So I'm not even gonna bother adding whatever it is. He's not blinded anymore, but you know, it could have fooled you with the way he just fucking whiffs on both of those.
I'm still dazzling regardless.
Yeah, and I think he's used to, like, he's a bigger dude. He's used to fighting people maybe like his own size, so that also probably contributed. Like, he definitely goes above your head, and is just an embarrassment to everyone around him. And that's gonna be his turn. That's gonna be Nika.
Okay, Nika's going to hold her great axe with 2 hands and sort of what's the word I'm looking for? She's gonna basically cross-check the guy in front of her.
Yes.
Across the back as she pushes off, and I'm using my bonus action to disengage.
Okay. Beautiful.
Then she whirls around this way, swinging the axe, and she's aiming it in this like sweeping arc at this guy's knees.
Love that. You guys are knee focused.
Go for the knee.
That should be advantage.
Yes, absolutely.
Uh, 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to make this a trip attack.
Sure.
Spend
absolutely.
one of my superiority die.
Go ahead. Is that just going to... Is that automatic? Sorry, I didn't...
He needs to make a DC 16 strength save.
Strength save, let's...
And I get to add 1d6 to my damage roll.
Beautiful. Well, he fucking sucks, and so he definitely fails. He for sure fails, so yeah, do all that shit.
Okay, so 12 plus 3, so 15 points of damage, and he's knocked prone.
Woof. Alright, I'm gonna knock him prone first. And then let's put the 15. Where did my fucking tab go? Okay, here it is. All right.
So many tabs.
Awesome. Honestly.
Nika will, like, this is all sort of one fluid motion. She'll continue circling around and end up right here.
Beautiful. All right. So that is gonna be trouble. Oh, not tickle. Trouble.
So, trouble is she pauses for just a minute as Calabra like does some voodoo shit to her, and some of her feathers kind of spike up a bit because it feels weird, and then she just kind of fucking bolts, and she's gonna try to go 5, 10, 15, and she's gonna try to hop on this crate. I don't know if this impairs how much she can move.
I'll just say it's in like you spend 5 feet.
Okay, so then she can get here because she's aiming for the rooftop. And she could get. Oops, it hates me now. She could get there as the crow flies, but if it's less than 5, or if it's 5 less, then she'll be right here.
Alright.
So she'll be mid-scramble up the roof, and as she's doing that, she will use her action to just kind of fling out a hand almost absent-mindedly, and suddenly there is a little sparkle of color, just a little wisp, and a small, dainty built little copper dragon, a pseudo dragon, with a bright teal underbelly and the webbing between his wings, just appears right in front of this motherfucker. And can Tickle's turn go? Tickle's turn is after Trouble's, right?
No. Well, in the initiative, it's before. I mean, let's say it will be going forward, but you can just fucking do it.
Okay, cool. Because, anyways, so Tickle then is going to use their action to do a sting attack on this guy who is untouched over here.
Love it.
And
clinging to the wall.
Yeah, he's about to have a bad day. Let me remember what that roll is, because it's not like on my action list.
Right.
It's just +4 to hit. So,
Ooh, I got a little tickle die. Here we go.
Oh, that's not bad. So a dirty 20.
That hits.
And then they have to make a DC Constitution saving throw. I'm sorry, a DC 11 Constitution saving throw. Sorry, that's not right either. A DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty, let's see. Boop. Jesus Christ, a natural 1. These people suck,
He's
dude.
unconscious. He failed by more than 5. He's asleep. Good night.
This guy's having the worst time. He's like, he sees this little random dragon that just materialized out of nowhere come up to him, and he's like, okay, what the fuck? He can see for the first time, and he just is like, oh, okay, and then he gets stung, and he fucking just falls asleep.
And a couple feet away, over crawling up the gutters, you just hear tickle, 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 tickle.
Oh my god. There he is. Now, well, he's already leaned up against the wall, so at least I'm gonna say he doesn't fall over. He gets a nice stand-up sleep.
Okay.
All right.
But he's unconscious and technically poisoned for 1 hour.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. Let me stack
or until
all
they take
these
damage or another creature uses an action to wake them up.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Why can't I find poison in this? Am I blind? Dude, where the fuck is poison?
Oh, why is it not in alphabetical order? Why do they hate us?
Right? Oh, I'm going down.
It's right there. I see it.
Stupid.
There it is.
I was reading down.
Oh no!
I just took it off. There we go. We're doing great. We're good. We're killing it. All right. Does that end for?
Yes.
Is that Trouble and Tickle's turn? Alrighty. So we are back at Pasquin. He still 100% zeroed in on Calabra. He is going to, where's his thing? I think, okay, so he's gonna draw he was holding a long sword with both hands. He's gonna switch it to one hand, and he's gonna draw his short sword. So I'm reading that he gets 2 long sword attacks. If short sword is drawn, he can also make a short sword attack. Does that mean 3 attacks? Or am I making that up? I think that's 3 attacks.
Sorry,
Yeah, I mean,
question?
He has a multi-attack that says he can make 2 long sword attacks, but if his short sword is drawn, he can also make a short sword attack. So is that
short
3
sword is
or
a bonus action? It sounds like 2 attacks from his action, and short bonus action is normally how that would work.
Beautiful. That is what he's gonna do. All to his BFF right in front of him. So let's roll 3 attacks. Oop, what is your bonus, my friend? Ooh, nice. This is kind of embarrassing for them. Okay. I think maybe 2 of those hit. Let's see. Yes, okay. He gets 2 of the 3. That's fine. He gets 1 on each sword, so he's feeling good about that at least. So let's see. What's your damage? D8 and D6. Boop, boop, boop. Ooh, alright. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, he deals 14 points of damage to him. Yeah, so the captain had gotten, like, hit a little bit before, but not, like, significantly. This still isn't, like, super significant. He seems pretty fine, but that definitely got him for the first time, like, took him off track. He stumbles back a little bit. What's your new number, my friend? There we go. Okay, so yeah, he still wants to stay right in his face, so that's gonna end his turn. This poor fucker is asleep.
Good night.
And now it's the captain's turn. He is going to... Yeah, I mean, there's really not much he can do, even if he wanted to do anything else. So, you guys are really just watching these 2 fully duke it out. Let's see. What fucking weapon did I give you, my friend? Dope. Okay. He is going to... Let's do... That's too dangerous. Okay, now he's gonna pull his longsword, and he is going to hold it with 2 hands, and he is going to slash at Pascaline. Let us see. Ooh, nice. What's your bonus? Ooh, Jesus. Yeah, that definitely hits him. Let's see, D10. Well, I mean, for D10, that made it sound way better than it is. Cool. So, yeah, you'd only seen him really spellcasting before, but he pulls out a sword and he slashes him across the chest, not too deep, but he is very much... fuck. Here we go. Beautiful, yeah. And now, Pascalin's not looking too great. And for his... I don't know if he's gonna do a movement or a bonus action. Okay. Fuck. Sorry.
You're good.
Maybe he will do that. I don't think he doesn't have any bonus action spells, so I think that's gonna be it. Let's end his turn. Alright, that's gonna be Lakar.
He's going to take a 5-foot steppy. And he is going to swing his glaive down at the veteran.
Hell yeah.
And 19 plus, I'm going to assume that hits plus the 8, so
Yes. Yes.
27 to hit.
Yeah. Just barely.
Just slightly. Alright, so that's 1d10 plus 7. That is 13 damage total.
Ooh, baby. Alright.
And then he is going to send a lightning bolt at the prone Dragonborn.
Love it.
So he's
13, right?
Yep. Is he at a disadvantage for his dex save then? Since he's prone?
I believe... Yeah. I'm
Okay.
sure. Fuck, yeah, you fucked up, Pascalin. Bad. Alright, so, sorry, what is he, disadvantage dex save?
Yeah, for 13 is his target.
I think he got a 10 and 11. What's his bonus? Dex. Yeah, he just makes it.
Just makes it, okay.
Yeah.
So he takes half damage, so that's whatever half of 3 would be, so 1, I guess?
Yeah. Another little static shock. Alright. Beautiful.
And that is my turn.
Righty. Lumen. Giddy up.
Correct. Let's see. I think she's gonna swing on this prone guy, and since he's prone, I don't have to move. I'll still get advantage.
Beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful.
So I'm just gonna roll to see what hits. The lowest I rolled was a 19.
That hits.
Alright.
Jesus Christ.
Also, totally forgot I could do my cute little, rapier thing, so let me see if that works.
Yes.
You gotta target the token and then select your own, and I think it should work. Damn it.
I am a fool.
No, it's something I set up, I think. Here, I got you. Doink.
Yeah.
That's adorable. Alright, time to roll damage.
Yes.
Off the 2 hits, that's 24 damage.
So already prone guy crumples, and he is unconscious.
Yeah, this would be non-lethal. Even if we weren't, this would be non-lethal.
Yeah. Okay, let's take this boy out.
No mercy.
Cool. All right, that is going. Is that it for you, Lemon?
Yes.
Nika.
Okay, so this guy's down.
Yeah, Dragonborn's down.
Okay. I'm going to, I guess, step over his body and rush back up to this
Love
guy. And we're gonna try this. I'm going to. She's going to hold her great axe with her left hand, and reach out with her right hand and try and wrap it around this guy's neck as he's facing Palabra, and I'm going to try and grapple him.
Love it. Cool. What the fuck do I have to roll for that again? I never remember.
Contested roll.
Yeah,
It's
contested.
my athletics versus your either athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Okay, cool. Okay, good. He has a bonus to athletics, so that's good. Boop. Ooh. That is a 22.
Okay. 2. 19 plus 8 is 27.
Fucking Christ.
You thought.
Yeah.
So good.
Homeboy, you do what you did, and he just falls limp and drops.
I basically
Quite
just got him in like
bloody.
a chokehold from behind.
Yeah, that didn't do damage, did
Well,
it?
he's trying to drop, but he's not able to because you have him in chokehold. He got
Literally just a one-arm chokehold too, not even
yeah.
making a big deal about
You're
it.
not even
It's
with
just like,
both
man.
arms.
All right, beautiful. Love that. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Beautiful. Now it's Tickle time.
Okay, so Tickle goes first.
Let's say Trouble can go first. Pretend they're switching the initiative.
Cool. Trouble's gonna finish
Oh
climbing
yeah, it's
onto
just in
the roof.
alphabetical order, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Trouble's gonna finish climbing onto the roof because she just really wanted to be up here. And let's see. For her action, she's hang on, let me. Doop, 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 doop. Yeah, she's going to cast Mage Hand, and it is going to kind of be similar in appearance to her Eldritch Blast, where it looks like it is just a shape made out of like the work of a ribbon dancer. It's like it looks like little swirling spirals of some flat ribbon, and it's very pretty. But it's reaching forward and it's going to try, and I don't know what this work looks like mechanically, but it is going to try to grab this Chucklefuck's ankle and just like pull it so that his legs go out from under him.
So Mage Hand can only use move like 10 pounds worth of stuff.
Well, she's not going to do a very good job, but she is going to try to do that.
Just for fun, because he is like unconscious, I'm gonna say that like she does it just so he drops. Like no harm. He's not a threat. Like he just drops. He's dead weight.
I didn't realize he was unconscious, but she's doing it anyways.
So yeah.
So that's her turn, and then she's like sitting on the edge of the roof and like a fucking Batman villain. And Tickle is just gonna land on the ground here next to Sleepy. And
oh man,
Tickle's not gonna take any further action. They're just gonna kind of like give him a little sniff and then start rummaging through their pockets.
Oh my god, I love it. Roll an investigation check for me.
Okay. Am I using Troubles or Tickle stats? I know the answer, but I don't want it to be that.
It's Tickles.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Investigation is intimidation. It's intelligence. That's what INT stands for.
Yeah.
Which is a +0. Doop 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 doop. 5.
All right. Let's see what he finds. Tickle finds 2 pieces of silver. Did the music just get louder?
I didn't touch it.
Hang on. Sorry. That was spooky. Maybe I just moved my thing. I probably did. Sorry.
If you adjust the like, because see, now I can't hear it, so if you adjust the global volume controls, that's your like client-based stuff.
Where's the okay, gotcha. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go, that's better. Okay, yeah, he finds 2 silver and also just rolled on a random table and an apple core.
Hell yeah.
Eaten. Pretty gross, but yeah.
Familiars don't need sustenance, but it's gonna get chewed on, so we're good.
Oh, hell yeah. Beautiful. All right. This poor man, it is his turn. Let me go through. Oh boy. I feel bad for him. What is the sleep effect?
He's unconscious. He's literally just unconscious.
For
an hour, unless somebody shakes him awake or does damage to him.
Oh, okay. So I think this combat is over.
Yep.
Cool.
We did it.
I fully forgot to give you guys a break, so we're going to do that now.
Cool. I'm just
Alright.
gonna make blood splats out of everybody.
Beautiful. I mean, I'm not gonna like give a set time, but like just reasonably come back soon.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
no
let's do
more
that.
than like 10 minutes. Yeah. All
I'm gonna
right.
get up and walk around a bit.
Yep.
Coolio. I will see you guys in a bit.
Well, that's fucking horrific. The music goes twice. I hate that. 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 Why? Why is it doing that? Okay, that's cursed.
Daarka,
Hello.
do we want to try and finagle anything on Foundry?
Yeah, I'm sort of messing with that right now. Hang on. I was gonna have break music playing, but it does this weird cursed thing where it like plays itself echoing with itself, and I hate it. And it's the exact same file I use in my other game. But listen to that.
Wait, I can hear that.
Right, but oh
Yeah,
wait.
it's not playing twice for me.
Oh my god. I had
What?
it playing on 2 browser tabs. Okay, sorry. That's me being a fucking dummy. We're good. So you can hear that.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna test some stuff. Can you hear this? It's been playing.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I don't know if my silence is telling, but no.
Okay. That's fucking wild.
You have your browser silenced in your volume mixer?
But then
in
she wouldn't
Windows
be able to
settings?
hear when I play the other stuff.
I just
Oh.
hardcore was speaking with my thing muted. I can hear it, so is it like a weird like GM thing?
I can hear that.
Okay, so I have a theory. And it's probably a stupid one. But the only thing that makes sense is that anything in the current session playlist is something Nicole can hear. Hang on, we're gonna test out more. Tell me if you can hear this.
No.
Okay, never mind. That's wild. I don't know. I think that's probably some sort of like iOS bug. I'm gonna have to look into that after the game.
I feel like I'm on a tropical island.
This is the elevator music that's not gonna get us copyright struck.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. Does anyone else have snacks? I have string cheese.
Did
Ah,
you bring
I wish I
enough
had
to share?
I mean, technically, sure. Come on over. I'll give
We
you.
get a string.
I got myself a blueberry muffin.
Oh,
Oh hell yeah! Oh god, I haven't had one in so long. I love a good
Oh, so
blueberry
good.
muffin. Where the fuck am I? Cool. Yeah, so I said this in the chat, but other breaks besides this one going forward will be at the actual halfway mark. I just fully forgot.
Oh, dude.
And yeah, so we won't be going like. There's not going to be another 3 hours after this. We will be wrapping up semi soon. Ooh, do you ever do a good stretch?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, good stuff.
I perfected this one stretch that cracks the vertebrae right between my shoulders.
Oh, nice.
Feels so good.
Also,
Are
let
you
me
being a
just
loaf?
say, I love
Everyone
I
just
love
spoke at
us
once, sorry.
already. We barely know each other. I don't care. This is gonna be
I
great.
love it. I love it. I'm so happy.
I'm just enjoying this scene of, we've got Lumen, who's all pinks and golds and fluffiness surrounded by purple blood.
I love it. Oh man.
I'll be right back.
I miss you already.
Dun, 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 dun. What did Nicole? What did you say? Can I just say hot too? I'm just seeing it now.
I think it was Nika.
Oh, it was most definitely Nika.
I love it.
Nika is so powerful, and that's okay. I'm just gonna be fanboying her all the time. Actually, this is another survey. Who else here says dirty 20? And if you don't say dirty 20, what do you say?
Either dirty 20 or mod 20. I also I heard some. I think it was in Fantasy High. Someone said naughty 20, and I like that. I want to try to say that instead.
Okay, see, that's good. So me and my friends also say dirty 20. But besides this group, any other group or people who I've played with, I say dirty 20, they're like, what? And I'm like, what do you get? And most people say, I hate the phrase 20 not nat. Because it's like...
That used to be what I said before someone else said dirty 20, and I was like, like that.
Or there's 20 total, which is fine.
Oh, that I feel like I get what's said, but I feel like I have to think about it for an extra second.
Right.
Because of a little...
I mean, I used to fuck with people, and now I just do it in, like, when I'm selling stuff, that I call it unnatural 20.
Yeah.
But that really
can sound like a natural 20.
Exactly. It's super
yeah.
But that's kind of why I like it, to be like, unnatural 20. And then people are like, Nicole, shut up.
I love it.
I'm just glad we're a gang of dirty 20s.
Love it.
I'm back.
Group name. The Dirty 20s. That doesn't make any sense. Alright.
I like it.
Let me pull this shite up. Alrighty. Alright, everyone tell me when you are ready.
I'm good.
Ready. We are up here.
Yep.
Ready.
Alright. Was that everyone? I feel like someone might have talked at the same time. Okay, cool. Alright. So that happened. And immediately, Captain Clabra is pacing back and forth, freaking the fuck out, muttering to himself. All decorum gone. He is freaking the fuck out, and the first thing he does is he kneels down right in front of him to Pascalin's body. He takes his longsword and he slits his throat, killing him completely, making sure he's dead. He goes to the one next to it, slits his throat, kills him completely. Goes to the lady, slits his throat, killing him completely. Goes to the man who's not dead. He goes to the man who's not dead, just asleep, and slits his throat, killing him completely. He stands up, like, hyperventilating. He, like, gropes at his robe for his pocket. He pulls out what looks like just a rock, but Lakar, you know exactly what this is. It's a sending stone. He, like, stands there trembling. His eyes are screwed shut. He's, like, clearly thinking to himself, and then he says, 4 bodies in alley between Knife's Edge and Pianthy Temple. Send removal now. 4 in tow. Sound alarm if not there in 5. And then he turns to you guys and he says, I hate to invoke the contract, but here are some direct orders. Follow me as fast as you can. And he books it out of the alley. Let's move to...
What are you doing?
Oh wait, actually before he does that, sorry, he like kind of, because those bodies were in a cluster, he kind of like moves them behind a barrel, and he just kind of leaves the other guy where he is because he was along a wall, and this is clearly not a well-trafficked alley. So, sorry, let me just...
See, Lumen had been feeling pretty good about the end of that fight. She's kind of standing there like, oh, this fight, and then that starts happening, and she goes frozen to confused to like a slight bewildered look. She's just kind of like, well, that was not at all what I was expecting after that scuffle, but alright, Mr. Calabra.
Oh, man. Alright.
Mouth is just hanging open. Wasn't expecting that. But as soon as she sees what he's doing, she'll help and hide the bodies and then follow.
Love it. Love it.
I was just watching with this, like, this is no longer my business kind of expression. Just like, whatever you choose to do at this point, that's fine by me. He is, like, massaging the base of his back right above his tail and just, like, old man stretches. Noticing a bit, he kind of seems like he's stiff and out of shape.
Yeah, is Lucar injured?
He is a little bit.
Got a little dent.
How much is a little bit?
You can see on... Actually, you can't see now, but if you find his token on the thing, you can see, like, how lower his bar is in comparison to everybody else's.
Oh, yeah. That's like a scratch. But I think Lumen needs something to do while the bodies are being hidden.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And so she kind of, like, walks over and carefully sets down her rapier and her little buckler shield away from pools of blood, and then she takes all 4 of her hands and kind of dusts them off and claps, and then she kind of, like, God, I don't even know if she can, like, reach where you were rubbing your sore back.
Absolutely not.
I don't think she can. I think she can touch, like, above your knee, kind of? Probably?
Oh my god.
And so she kind of, like, taps your knees, and you just feel... I'm just gonna cast a Cure Wounds, which is 3 + 3, so you regain 6 hit points.
Beautiful.
And she's just kind of like... Hold on. I hope that helps you just a little bit. I just needed something to do, but I hope that pick-me-up picks you up.
Lucar looks both, like, amused and, you know, a little touched, and he just smiles and, well, thank you very much. That actually helps me feel quite a bit better.
Well, you're welcome.
He kind of, like, twists his upper body back and forth a bit, and he's just like, oh, I've been in that prison for months. I'm out of shape.
I'm out of shape.
And Trouble jumps down from the roof.
I love that this interaction is happening while there's frantic bodies.
Oh yeah, they're just showing. I mean, here's the thing: Lumen is not strong enough to move a body if she.
No, Trouble's not in the body moving committee either.
No.
Which is funny because Lucar absolutely is, but he's just not. It's not his business right now.
Yep.
And as Trouble
Unless
jumps
directly
down,
asked, he's not.
As Trouble jumps down from the roof, the little pseudo-dragon kind of bounds over a few paces and then spreads its wings and flutters over to basically curl up in Trouble's arms, and she holds it like a child would hold a cat. Just like, this is my friend. just kind of waddles back over to everybody now with her dragon in tow and is just kind of watching.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, is that your little, oh, they're so cute. Lumen is beside herself. She can barely get she's just like, cooing, just,
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Oh my god.
Oh, so cute. She's just distracted. Tickle makes her feel better, but she will gather her things and will follow quickly once we start to move.
Yeah. He breaks into basically a sprint, and heads down the alley, hangs an immediate left. He kind of goes in a weird zigzag. He hangs an immediate left, and then immediate right, and then he's just running along here. Oh, that rolled up at the same time. You don't go there. He's stressed. He runs smack into the outer walls. And then once he gets to the main road, he's going to turn, and he is going to... as you turn onto the part of Nottington Road that runs along the outskirts of the city, among the shacks, it's just like basically like a slum neighborhood. There's a building that's in considerably better shape than its neighbors, though that's more of by comparison than anything else. It's a long 2-story rectangle made of shabby fieldstone with a slate roof with a matching chimney. The bottom edges of the exterior walls are covered in moss and the occasional creeping vine. The front of the building is lined by tall, skinny windows that flank a narrow, reinforced wooden door with 3 slate steps leading to a gray awning-covered front step. And he basically runs right up to that, and you can see, if you're still following him, that there's a signboard hanging from rusty chains on either side of the awning. It's a carved wood sign with chipped paint made to look like a tree, with one long branch sticking out that write out the words, Ever Sanctum Inn. So, yeah, you get there, and just immediately he is going to throw... Like, from the outside, it looks like... I mean, you can tell that, like, things are going on, but, like, it's pretty, like... pretty dim inside. You're like, what the fuck is this? But he throws open the doors, he runs in, and, I mean, I guess it is up to you guys if you follow, but...
Yeah, is everyone able to keep up as we're running?
What's
I would
his
hope
running
so.
speed?
His is just 30.
And I'm assuming he's dashing, but like, yeah, okay. Then
Yeah.
Tickle.
Okay.
Treble can keep up.
My walking speed is technically 25, so she gets like a little. She is running. Just a little
But
bit.
she's not-
She got
Too far
little
behind.
legs.
Just definitely holding up the rear.
Yeah. Even with the wings, because her basic walking is like a flutter land walk.
Yeah.
Flutter land, but her flying and her walking speed are the exact same. So it's
Yep.
just the.
Love it. Alright, so let's move you here.
Yeah, if Flakar notices her following behind, he will scoop her up in his arms and
Ah!
carry her along.
I'll fix it.
Oh
love
my
it.
god. Yeah.
It's the fucking... I need to figure out the music better for next time, because that is annoying.
It's fine.
Yeah, I just need to make a full playlist. Alright. Ooh, that music, like, actually physically relaxed me. The shift. I was like, wow. Yeah, so you step inside, and you are inside just, like, a very... From the outside of the building, you look at it, and it's like, okay, there's probably several rooms across this very long building. There's not.
Sorry.
It's all one room.
Can
Yeah.
I interrupt? I don't
absolutely
have vision
can.
again.
Oh shit! I
damn
just
it.
changed it though. You should.
This will never be a problem after this session.
There we
Is that
go.
better?
There we go.
You
Oh, that's weird. It didn't do when I did it. It fucking doesn't like me.
It needs me.
I guess so.
You're not the DM.
I know. I'm a poser.
No, you're my assistant that I desperately need. It's like, okay, yeah. So he basically like bursts through the doors with you guys in tow, and it's this giant room, just like the horizontal room. It's mostly open space. Like there's a lot of furniture that's really trying to fill it, but it is just like such a massive room. And for such a massive room, and this is apparently an inn, there are 2 people in here. There are 2 women at the front desk and no one else that you can see. And as soon as you burst through the doors, you see these 2 women. They're directly in front of you. They're kind of just like talking in hushed tones to each other. One is a human woman. She is like average height, average weight. She has light brown hair and kind of like an overgrown bob, and brown skin, lots of freckles, wearing like kind of flowy blue and gray clothes, and she has a bunch of piercings in her ears. And then next to her is this like almost 7 foot, like 300 pounds female half orc with like super muscular, super broad. She has like just like black hair, like completely thrown up in a bun, like she does not care about it. Kind of greenish gray skin. She has like faint scars all over, but she does like she's very distinctive. She has like symmetrical swirling line tattoos on her face, like kind of around the sides of her face, like some sort of maybe like tribal pattern, and she also has a massive burn scar covering the left side of her face, and you can even see down her neck and like looking like it would probably go down to her body. And she has like a piercing through the bridge of her nose. And she is the first woman, the human. She's like maybe like 30s or so. The other girl, you can't really tell how old she is just because she is so...
She's beefy years old.
is a beefy gal, but just the way she holds herself, you can tell that she's definitely younger. You just can't really tell how much. And as soon as you guys burst through the doors, the human woman, she like braces herself on the front desk that she is behind, and she says, "Oh, Sebastian, what the fuck have you done?"
What the fuck have you done?
She is taken fully aback, and she claps a hand over her mouth, and she says, "Pardon my language."
No, Trouble said that to Calabra. She just ganged up on him.
No, she can definitely, a lot of people are like confused by Trouble's deal with talking. She like gets it right away. She knows what's happening. She knows that it was her that gave her that trait. And she lowers her mouth and she says, "What?" You can see her working overtime in her face to figure out what she wants to address first, and she seems to decide on you guys because she forces her shoulders to relax, and she gives you a warm smile, and she says, do you guys need anything? Do you need any... Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Do you need healing? Do you need... I'm so sorry.
I'd like to know what's going on.
I'm sure you do. If you would just give me 1 second to speak to our lovely friend Sebastian here in the other room. You are free to look around. Aretta, go get some food, some drinks. And the half-orc girl, she like... you expect her to kind of like lumber off just because she's like just so big, but she like scurries a little bit. Like she just is out of there, is clearly so nervous, and she goes kind of into a room that's off to the left. And as she does that, you like kind of look around the area, and it's just one large rectangular room spanning the entire width of the building with like dark wood paneled walls, floors made of old worn mismatched woods that are like very creaky and you could easily trip over. Dim lighting, like with lanterns nestled in the corners and along the walls. And the furniture is like deliberately rustic. It's like very shabby and worn, but like comfortable and homey. It's all like mismatched, like just fully, obviously secondhand. And the walls are crowded with like old faded paintings and thick tapestries. And which also seem to be secondhand, but there are a few that seem to be like newer and nicer. And the front desk, is directly across from you, just this massive pine structure that you can see has like a bunch of like drawers and shelves. And then off to the left seems to be a little dining area, just kind of thrown together with random chairs and stools and everything. And then to the far right is a few threadbare sofas and love seats and tables, chairs, a large stone fireplace nestled against the far wall, in between several bookcases and shelves crowded with, like, just overflowing with, like, all variety of books. Like, the most books you've seen, like, outside of a library, probably. And so, the captain and this woman, kind of go in through a door back here.
So Lakara is probably still carrying Lumen unless she specifically wants to, or indicates that she wants to be let down. He might have forgotten he was even holding her. I imagine he kind of probably has her like in one arm where he has his arm crooked up and she's more or less like sitting on his forearm.
I love it.
Yeah, that would work because of her wings. Yeah, because you can't quite like grab around. But if she's like sitting, like honestly, she could probably also sit on his shoulders. Oh my god, that'd be so cute.
Yeah, he would allow that. If she climbed up there, he would be perfectly fine with that.
Oh my god, definitely. Yeah, so she's just perched.
Oh my
up
god.
there.
In fact, there's even like he almost seems familiar and comfortable with small creatures climbing on his shoulders. Like
Aww.
he even like he adjusts his head fins to make it more comfortable for her and just settles in.
Love it.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. A cup of whiskey sounds pretty good right now.
I could go for a vodka.
Hi.
After a minute, the half-orc emerges from. Since she's carrying a tray of food, you can safely probably assume it's the kitchen, and she kind of just approaches you guys very pretty timidly, and is just like holding the tray very far out in front of her, and you see that it's like just kind of stacked with pastries, and it has a little teapot, several cups, things like that, and she kind of like approaches you at first, but then she like makes a quick turn to the desk and puts it there, and like steps like heavily to the side, and is just like standing there frozen. Not like frozen, like frozen in fear.
Tickle swoops in and plucks up a pastry and just like fucks off again, just like drive by, steals a pastry. And then Trouble runs after.
I'm sorry, miss. I don't think I quite got your name with a proper introduction earlier.
Did you see the girl? She like opens her mouth and closes it a few times. She like shuts her eyes. She takes a deep breath, and in just the exact opposite of what you expect her voice to be, she says, Loretta.
Oh my god.
And she's just like, she like takes like a half step back, and is just like, so she might as well be holding a sign that says, I'm uncomfortable, because she's just not having a good time. And she kind of, she like backs up towards the hallway, but like doesn't go in, but she's just like, it's like a kid like waiting for their mom to come back when they like go off and leave them in line. Like just that level of paralyzed.
Hi.
Lakar will walk up to the counter to see if Lumen is interested in any of the pastries, but he doesn't take one himself.
Is there like a cheese Danish?
Yes, there is. There's 3 of them.
Lakar, if you would be so kind to grab that little cheese Danish there, I'd be mighty appreciative.
Of course.
Much obliged.
Oh my god.
And he, picks one up between his claws and offers it up to her.
Much obliged.
You're very welcome.
I'm suing you for IP theft.
No!
Moments pass, and you were like kind of expecting them to come back pretty quickly. She made it sound like it would be like a quick conversation, but you're all just standing there kind of awkwardly, like for not like a super long period of time, but like enough to be uncomfortable.
Nika's fed up. She's gonna push past the orc woman and head towards the hallway.
Yeah,
Go
absolutely.
So Trouble's coming.
Does she go in? I imagine.
Can she hear anything from outside?
You definitely hear the like whisper yelling, and definitely only from one person.
Okay, then yeah, she'll open the door and just stand in the hallway expectantly.
You just like a little bit down. Yeah, the hallway is the same length as the initial room, just like full building, but like super plain, pretty empty. Just like doors on either side. It's an inn. It's what you would expect an inn to look like. There's a staircase, far left end. I would take off the fucking thing, but honestly, it's just a hallway. Like, I have a thing covering it, but I promise it's just a hallway. And yeah, they, the captain and the woman are, like, she's like in his face. They're about the same height, but she's like, he's a little bit beefier, but she is just in his face, fucking whispering, yelling at him, and you hear like the words irresponsible, fucking imbecile, like, just, she is chewing him out. And once she sees the door open, she freezes, and her face just immediately is like the biggest smile, and she says, I'm so sorry, that was so rude of me. I lost, yes.
No, continue.
Well, I think I got what I needed out. Let's just, you guys look like you need to have a seat. She comes back in the room, and she heads over to the seating area, and Sebastian follows with like a dog with his tail between his legs, and they sit very, very pointedly away from each other. And Aretta flees.
Trouble sits down in the middle of the rug because she's the center of attention now.
Love it. Now, always.
Trouble also just kind of cocks her head towards Calabra and just goes, "You're Trouble, aren't you?"
He's just staring at the carpet, and the woman is like pinching the bridge of her nose between her fingers, and she says, first of all, my name is Yashira. I apologize that we are meeting in this way. And, sorry, hang on. I just lost her fucking thing. Yeah. She kind of just sits back and shakes her head, and she says, do you want to just ask questions? Because I honestly don't know where to start.
What are you doing?
She looks at Trouble, and just like the most genuine warm smile like crosses her face. Like, it looks like she just took like a pain reliever, and she says, you're an absolute delight. I am just sitting here, and I am just having a bad time, sweetheart. That's what I'm doing.
Trouble then looks at Calabra.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
He's just like looking at Yashira with like his mouth hanging open. And suddenly I fucking just realized that I forgot this token, so you're gonna have to use your imagination. You hear the hallway door swing open, and you see, interestingly see a Henku walk out. And it's definitely, like, obviously they look similar because they are both blackbird people, but this Kenku's pretty different from Trouble. He is dressed in, like, full, like, just, like, brown leathers. He has kind of, like, just kind of worn clothes. Clearly does not care as much about his appearance, than Trouble does, and he's a little bit taller. You can tell he's a little bit older, and he has these beady yellow eyes. And he like steps out and kind of like just turns like in place, like a weirdly robotic turn, and he turns and looks towards you guys, and he says, when Trouble like mimics, like, her beak moves like she's talking, I imagine, right?
I mean, yeah, to an extent. Like, it doesn't move with the syllables the way a human's mouth does. It's very much like how a bird, like, a lot of the shit that they produce is, like, in their throat as opposed to in their mouth. So, yeah. But yes, it moves.
He just, like, straight up opens his beak and words come out without him, like he's just a recording.
Oh.
And he says in this oddly, like, feminine voice, brings them in. I'd love to talk to them. And that's where we're gonna end the session.
No!
Oh man, that's also where my planning ran out, so there's no choice. Oh my god, stress.
I mean, great timing.
I'm going
Right?
immediately to bed. Oh. Oh.
The coffee I took I've timed it perfectly because I still feel okay, but
It's past midnight for me. I don't stay up this late ever. I'm like out of my mind wild right now.
Oh.
you are doing wonderfully. Guys, I love you guys. I know.
I
really
love you guys too. Like, I'm comfortable saying it. I am delighted. This is a fucking dream group.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Thank you
Okay,
for
literally.
all the work that you put in. This was like
Oh my
really
God.
elaborate.
Literally no problem. Literally none. All right, I'm like about to pass out, so I am gonna go.
Get some rest. Get some rest.